So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the loss is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all outliers. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all outliers. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all outliers. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present.
What up?
Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion.
Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. What up, everybody? What up? Hey, don't forget to hit them like buttons. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people on the back street. Y'all know what time it is. Roll them up, get that brew together, sit back, chill, and relax. Because today, I know it's Talk Shit Tuesday, but we're going to do some real talking tonight. I need everybody to go ahead and participate in that poll. It's not a right or wrong answer. But then we're going to be talking real talk. You know, I'm going to just get this shit started out right. Considering we kind of winding this thing down, it's not too much more, you know. We try to not try to go over the same thing, you know. Me and Mo had a talk. Like I said, we pretty much been over a whole bunch of shit. You know, one thing that one hump we just can't seem to get over is how do you move the game forward? For all, you know, and I say this so much that it's almost getting tiresome to me. But I probably wouldn't say it as much if I didn't see the same old stupid ass conversations. You know what I mean? When I be talking about moving forward, when I talk about moving forward, you know what I'm saying? When in our time, you know, we was dealing with, you know, a whole new different era of men and dogs. Remember, I was telling y'all, people like Rasta Man, Mr. Green, you know, they was even the Legion of Doom. Who else? Buffalo Soldier. They were speckles throughout the game. But then things changed. Things changed big. You had a lot of the Latinos, a lot of the brothers jumping in there and had the opportunity to have some real good dogs. And as you know, a lot of y'all probably wasn't familiar with the journal, but if you just follow along in the journal, a lot of them names that you guys were unfamiliar to you guys, there was really real people behind them. Some was in there a lot more than others. But it was a pattern that was happening. And in that pattern, by the time it got to 1999, y'all see what I'm talking about. It was over 1,900 matches running around in the country. It was actually being reported. And a lot of good dogs in that 10-year span came out that we still talk about 20 years later. I mean, in that 10-year span, the names did change. We was taking their good dogs, you know, from the early 80s. I said the early 80s, and things start kind of turning in the late 80s, where you start seeing, you know, some of them 80s dogs have a whole lot to do with the production that was moving into the 90s. And by the end of the 90s, that group that we started out in the late 80s, early 90s had already changed the whole concept of the game by the time y'all got into the 2000s. Now, I don't know how many people out there are historians. We sit here and we try to tell y'all because we lived during that time period. We was involved during that time period, like with the Cheryl Powers, the Kenny Allens, the Rebel Kennels. I mean, the names go on. Fat Bill was out there. Ed Farron was out there. Look at all the names. But remember, everybody was coexisting. Everybody. And if you notice, there was a lot of kennels hooking up with kennels, a lot of breedings that was being made, a lot of great dogs. See, them, in my time, the dogs didn't come great and become worthy of even being spoken on, unless there was something to be spoke on about. I mean, they had to do something. They had to produce something. And we were still taking like the early 90s, we still working off this shit that the 80s, the late 80s, mid 80s had gave us. So we was using, we had the opportunity to take that shit and then create this other shit where everything seemed to have changed. Now, the reason I say that, and that's why I'll be talking about real talk. There's a lot of people that speak now that has no idea what that was like. Had no part in what was actually going on. You know what I'm saying? So when things start rolling off into the 2000s, because remember, we didn't get out until 2008. When I say completely out, we was completely out in 2008. We went to our hiatus in 2004 with that little drama. And by the time it all came around, we was completely out by 2008. So look at all the different changes we've seen even during that time period. My boys were still rolling hard. By that time, the journal had changed hands. It got a little shaky, you know what I mean? And that's why you kind of just sat back because you knew all the people involved and just sat back and said, well, I wonder which way this shit's going. And as you notice which way it went, things just never got back to what it was. Because at that point in time, you couldn't really trust the information. You know, people start getting leery and funny when you got, feds jumping in, Jack going back to jail, Harry, still getting not. It just so much had changed. It just wasn't, people didn't feel comfortable. But the game didn't actually stop. It just kind of took back seat. They tried to get it back down underground, and that was kind of hard to do because at this point, it was about making money. And that's when, the funny shit started. Untouched champions, untouched grand champions. ROMs, can't know where the hell the ROMs was coming from. I mean, all kind of crazy shit. And so when you start talking about it and you seeing as time was moving forward, remember for me, that's a lot of years that not being involved, but still watching how the game just was just deteriorating. But then I sit here and I watch so much. And I remember I follow everybody. And I just sit back and I just look at it. And I tell myself, we get on a bus to go back to talk about one of the best times to me that was ever possible when you started coming out of them 90s and then up to the 2000s, the early 2000s. And you can go back and history gonna show that. It's gonna show you some of the greatest dogs, some of the best bred dogs, some of the best dog man that this game came up with. They're gonna be in that time period. What made that time period so special? Do your homework, we sit here and talk about it. It's evident. What made that time period so productive? And it was illegal then. My problem is when you're trying to move forward, you're trying to work on the success of the past, You can't do what we did back then. It's impossible. No, I'm not going to say it's impossible. You can't do it as open as we did. We were a lot more truthful, a lot of us, based on what we did. See, it was easy to catch people like Beeline. You know why it was easy to catch people like Beeline? Because you had some of the great dog men out there rolling and was wondering, why ain't you crossed none of our paths? You know, that was a big circle out there, and you know, you got something supposed to be all that. We trying to figure out you ain't crossing none of these paths nowhere. Same thing with Chico. Running around doing that crazy shit, and you know, you ain't crossing them paths. And the paths you crossing, you getting caught up. You know, evolution started that Beeline shit. But cause you ain't crossing, you know, you ain't, how come you ain't running into none of us? You know, remember, I still got Jesse, Big Mike, and you know, my Puerto Rican friends. I got the Havana boys, the Yankee boys. You know, what's up? You ain't running across none of them. The Untouchables, you ain't running across none of them. Shit got kind of like, okay, before you get caught up, you know, y'all got to start answering some questions. That's just how serious we was about, you know, the integrity of the game. We took that serious. A lot of y'all, you know, you probably hear so many stories, and there's so many people that we don't talk about because they wasn't out there like some of us. You know, you don't hear, you know, Deep South and Big Ralph and J-Bo, you know, all them guys. They was out there in the mix, but we knew about them because of the areas they was in. See, when you moving around, stepping off into other people's areas, they know you coming in. They kind of got an idea of what you bringing. And when they was willing to come out their areas and step into our areas and we moving around, everybody kind of knew everything that was moving on. And if you notice, a lot of moving around was going on. That's just telling y'all how it was. Now, when the changes start going on, and you have no way of justifying what you're doing, like, we all always go back and forth about a dead game dog. For me, you know, dead game dog is exactly what it is. Dead game dog. That's my version. A dog that lost game, that means he lost, but he didn't lose by standing on all fours. They saved him. They picked him up. That's the game loss right there, you know. One time loser, GL, game loss. I don't see how you put a game loss on a dog that stood in the corner. What was game about a dog that stood to stop on all fours? There's nothing game about that. That's just a one-time loser. Should be no GLs behind that. I even see now grand champions with losses. I guess that rule changed too. You know, I bring that up because we try to talk about bettering the game. You know what I mean? Teaching guys not how to be dog fighters. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're just teaching you the history of the game. Most people who are good in sports, like it be basketball, wrestling, boxing, they are historians to the game. That's all we're trying to do. Create the history of the game. It is up to people to take that information and keep creating in your own type of way. In your own type of way, and still get the same quality and the performance that has lasted throughout the years. And it's easy for a lot of people like to sit back and I be hearing people talk and don't have no idea what it actually means to hold one between your legs, or to travel with one, or to even talk about doing anything, and you ain't never done nothing to even see if what you trying to tell other people even gonna work. And if you are doing it, what do you have to show for it? Give me something. I want to see something. Now, I need to see the receipts, because to me, that's the era I came from. I come from that era. When it came down to these Bulldogs, we got a chance to see what we was working with, why we were doing the things what we were doing. We didn't have to hear about it. We could go see it for ourselves, see what it looked like, see what it means to have to travel 800, 1,500 miles to get somewhere, to go get it on. Understanding what was all involved in the complications that came with that. Only real people who have done that know what that shit feels like, what is involved with it. Only people who matched a lot of dogs know what it feels to actually put dogs in shape, knowing that all dogs is different. Knowing that you fixing to go into a top line kennel, knowing your shit got to be right, and you willing to do this all over the goddamn country. Don't care who it is. Them kind of people know what they talk about because they've done it. And how do you know they've done it? Because history gonna show you. History gonna show you. You can go look and see for yourself. Some of them might have one or two. Then you got some that got many. But the fact is, you don't see all of them out here with podcasts. No. So I'm wondering, if it don't be for the ones we bring in here, who is all these other people? And that ain't to put nobody down. I'm just putting it out there because this is real talk. What are you learning from? What are you supposed to learn? How the hell are you? Man, I am trying to understand how that works. You know, I grew up when a dog man walked in the room. Most real dog men, they actually get real quiet and sit back and just listen. And I've been in the rooms with some bad boys, plenty times, some big bad boys. You know what I'm saying? But when certain ones walked in the room, that's like Floyd Boudreaux was to walk in the room and we talking dogs. You know how quiet that room would get if that man opened his mouth? Do you know how quiet that room would get the minute he opened his mouth? See, them kind of, that's how far the respect went back, from the era I come from. People knew when to get quiet. was kind of hesitant about even asking a question. Because if you shut up long enough, he gonna answer all your questions without you even having to ask. I'm only talking about the era I come from. That's why I'm looking at it. This real talk. I ain't talking just be talking. I'm talking because I know. I was one of them young guys. I was one of them young guys that learned by just watching and listening, then taking what I could and going back and gathering up more information. That's how it worked in my time. Yeah, we had all the books, you know. We went and got books. Like Schoolboy got books out there. Fat Bill got books out there. But they ain't on the level of the Richard Stratton book, the Velvet and Steel book, the Ed Crenshaw book. Why? Why ain't y'all? Them men should have back orders of shit. They should have back orders. Because the same way I named Ed Stratton, you know, Velvet and Steel, because those were the books that was out. California Jack shit, those were the books that was out. Every dog man probably in that time period, regardless of what color you was, you had that in your collection. Why did we have that in our collection? Because of the information. And then I look at Fat Bill, the American Game Dog Times, a very big publication at that time, like the Journal was. Big publication. Great stories. Great dog man. Legendary. And for whatever the reason, that man should, he shouldn't even have to worry about nothing, because everybody should have that collection of books in your possession, because of the information that's in it. Schoolboy. I see Schoolboy talking to everybody. Come on, he is the professor. Internationally known. That man should be selling out of all his books, back ordered up for the next 5 years. Based off the information and the history that he has put out there to share with everybody. Because I still look at that and cherish those books all the way back. Remember, we lost our books when we got raided. We could never get them back. So we starting on a whole new collection. Big shout out to Fat Bill and Schoolboy. They hooked us up. But the reason I say that, because of the importance. Y'all know how much the Velvet and Steel book or the Ed Crenshaw book or the David Stratton book cost today? Do y'all see the prices that they trying to get for them books of today? It's crazy. But some of y'all probably go spend that money to get them, just to have it in your collection. But then you got Schoolboy, Fat Bills, and ain't nobody, you know, buying books. But yet, I sit back and I watch all these podcasts, and I'll never see nobody speak on those books or the information in those books. But I sit back and see a whole lot of people trying to teach people shit. with no nothing to stand on. Nothing. See, I know Fat Bill can talk his shit. I always told you I would never downplay the man as a great dog, man. Never. Well, my thing with him is always it's gonna be personal. It's not that personal. But as far as him legendary and his status, it is what it is. He can sit down and talk because I know he know. Y'all know I know he know. Hell, I got dogs with Fat Bill in their pedigrees. You know how long it's been since Fat Bill been out of dogs? But you can still find him in your pedigree? That's the man that got the right to say something. He can talk. The man ain't got back orders on books because y'all ain't buying for what? I mean, what sense does that make? I mean, I got my books. I know my books are signed. I mean, hell, I'll be dead and gone. I'm still going to we're going to will our books to one of the kids and tell them, you know, one day these books going to be worth a whole lot of money because I believe they will, just like the other books did. We never sat down and wrote a book. Only a very few men sat down and wrote books. Very few. And that's, to me, is what made those other men's books so special. Yeah, we've seen videos of Don Mayfield. We've seen videos of Pat Patrick. I haven't seen video with Rebel Kennels. But to me, those videos are cherishable because you're hearing it come from the person, the real person, the one that you could go back and you say, Don Mayfield, you better know who the hell Don Mayfield is or why you watching the video. You know, you gonna know who the hell Don Mayfield is. You gonna know who Pat Patrick is. Hell, you gonna know who Tom Garner is. I ain't seen none of Tom's books. But hell, Tom is like Pat Patrick. I mean, how you got not gonna know who Tom Garner is? How you gonna not know as much as Schoolboy get around? How you gonna not know who he is and don't have his books? See, these are the things that make me want to have this conversation. Because, see, I know we on the way, you know, we trying to find out, you know, we trying to like wind this sit down. So I'm just feel like this is one of them. This real talk right here, because don't know, ain't you know, when I sit back and watch all the people that come and watch. Big shout out to my people out there on the back street, because believe it or not, they're the reason I'm having this conversation. Because of the history. There ain't enough books out there. Ain't enough people talking that was out there. This is why y'all always flood to people when we do interviews. You notice that most of our videos, most of everybody's videos do real good when they're interviewing somebody. Because people gonna flock to hear what that person has to say. Even if they don't know. I've heard, you know, like, even sometimes I wonder about that. Because, you know, when Schoolboy do his videos, I know those people. You know, some of these people I really be knowing. Noonie, I know Noonie real well. Good interview. But it's a lot of them who don't do interviews, fellas. I mean, the guys that we bring through, I mean, you don't see them on everybody's shows because they really don't do interviews. But they have so much knowledge. You can't get them to sit down and write a book. Cause I guess it's so much. I mean, to me, I think it would make a great movie if I could get get people to play these people and just make a movie of this crazy ass 20 plus years of the people and the things that happen that you could just put on screen, because it would be some of the most funniest shit, some of the craziest things that we had to go through, and the things we was willing to do, and the conversations. I mean, it was just something that is cherishable, man. And I think we do disrespect, is what I be feeling. Total disrespect for these type of people. When I see the people talking who have no idea of what it really felt like. You know, since we've been doing this, I heard people talk about, well, I ain't do no journal. Well, then you ain't part of the conversation. Understand that. That ain't no motherfucking put down on you. But don't throw it out there like that because it was something wrong with us. Because the last time I checked, the only people we ever really talk about is the people that was in the journal. So I don't know where you felt like we supposed to know who the hell you is when you ain't rolling in that journal circle. So there's a reason why we don't know who the hell you are. I don't know what the hell you did over there. You off in whatever little corner you in, stay there because you made that choice. Don't be mad because don't nobody know you. That ain't no shot on your game. You make that point that you don't do that, and that's all right with you. But it's a whole bunch of us over here that did. And if they can get in there and that's they shit, at least they got something to sit there and tell you who in hell, what they did, and how they did it. But you don't see that out here because they ain't doing that. Just a handful who actually doing it, who actually know what that meant to do that on that kind of level. And I ain't talking about no backyard shit. I'm talking about willing to get up and get in and let's go get it. There's only a couple of us out here that did that. Just out here. But I always say, there's a whole lot of my people out there on the back street who know exactly what I'm talking about. Why do they come? Why do they stop and listen? Because it takes them back to a time that they was there. They knew. Some of them, twin, you remember that night? Yeah, you was there. Yeah. I seen you talk about it. Call me on the back street. What up? Reminisce. So I know it's a lot of them out there. Actually, there's some of them out there in my damn Shark Tank. Y'all have no idea who they are because they don't talk about it. I watch my Shark Tank. I watch how they hang out. That's why I don't put them on blast. But I just know greatness is in that Shark Tank. Greatness run around and you don't know who the hell they are. They just normal people hanging out in the Shark Tank. But I guarantee you, they know what I'm talking about. Hopefully the day come I'll be talking about they shit. But my thing is, what are y'all listening to? You know, no big and no disrespect to my man Douglas Brown Pro, but that's like an eye opener. I was like an eye opener. You see how that all went bad? How a motherfucker ain't never done shit gonna try to get on my level and then actually think you finna argue with me about what? Where that conversation fitting to go? We talking dog now. Give a damn how you think you can talk. When we talk about what's real, damn it, you're gonna get put down. That's like a man don't stand in the box and ain't never done nothing before, and you think you got the ups on me. I'm coming in with all the confidence in the world. I know you ain't got nothing to talk about. You're going to show in your performance. Because when a real dog man hits the scene, what can you say? What can you really say? How are you going to argue with me? I seen people come into this when we first started this and actually have to go out and do their homework and have to come back and like, damn, oh, you didn't know, but now you know. How the hell you know? What did you do to go find out to come back and say, oh, you know? Well, I know you going to know if you go do your homework, but I know you wasn't out there. I know you wasn't doing what we was doing, because if you was doing what we was doing, you wouldn't have had to go through all of that. You would have knew. But now you know what the conversation fitting to be about now. That ain't bragging. That's just me saying, wait a minute. Why are we doing what we doing? Why are we doing this? I have never got off of why we do this right here. I told you why I did this. I did this because I brought my brother back. I get that back to pro. Because he gave him a platform to talk about it. And what happened, him talking about it made people want to listen. That got him more energized because he had so much to talk about, because of that we spent so much of our life doing it. It was the worst thing that could have happened to him when he lost his babies, his soldiers. Man, don't forget that type of shit. That's like losing your child. That's a big part of his life, and he get a chance to come back and share all that experience and all the people and all the love and the love of the game, trying to show with his passion, trying to show y'all, tell you, to see what it's going to do moving forward, because that's how we got it. And the same thing they always told us, the same way they give it to you, you make sure you give back. Keep it moving forward. That's why when my boys come on and they be talking, we give them the utmost respect, because this is what never about trying to be on their level. But not trying about being on somebody else's level. To us, it was trying to be about doing what you doing and be successful the same way you doing it. You willing to share that with me? You willing to let me get some of that and do that? What I need to do to get my hands on that? What I need to do to get you to tell me what to do? What is it about what you doing over there that can help me do what you doing? What made them people stop and say, listen here, twin. Listen, twin. Sit down, twin. Let me tell you something. Twin, what was you doing? You're hard-headed. I mean, what made them stop and take that time to do that? Believe me, we wouldn't have got that if we had been sitting up there arguing, act like we knew what the hell we was talking about, or going back and forth. I guarantee you, we wouldn't have got that kind of information like the shit I see out here. Like, you know, I can't see how anybody would want to try to go back and forth with on this shit right here. Man, I seen some of that shit too. Where all them faces at? Where all them people go? Where did they disappear to? We still here. But where do all them guys go? Because at some point you got to look stupid as hell, because what you gonna fight me with when it comes to these motherfuckers right here? What you gonna think you gonna do? What can you show me to even tell me that I would even have to even say you got a conversation piece? Everybody who felt that they wanted to get out there and talk that crazy shit, they had nothing to stand on. Nothing. Literally nothing. Real fire receipts all day. Why? What makes us different than that other shit? Because they ain't never have shit. ain't never done shit, ain't trying to learn shit, trying to act like you know shit and don't know shit. And then that make me question the people to sit back and listen to it. That's all. Not taking away from the people who listen. Because who am I to judge anybody? I just be wanting to know what you're getting out of it. What do you get out of that? Good conversation? Some internet drama shit? It's enough of that shit on TV. They call it reality TV. I know YouTube has not gotten better than reality TV yet. I see a lot of shit out there, you know, the trials and all that kind of shit. But it really ain't got as good as reality TV. See, reality TV, they can do a whole season of some shit. And then come back with a whole new season with a whole new bunch of different faces. That keeps you dragged, you know, that keeps you involved. But I can't imagine that the dog community could get caught up into reality TV, you know, type of format, you know, talking about each other when most of the time people who doing all the talking ain't never done shit. And ain't got nothing to stand on. And thinking talking loud gonna change that. No, I don't have to get loud. I can get real nasty. I ain't about that personal shit. Personal shit, I like what I tell you I do, how I deal with personal shit. You hear us get real quiet. When it comes to this dog shit, it's a whole different story because all that screaming, you ain't producing shit because you ain't got shit. Stay in your place. Shut the fuck up. You don't like to hear that? Then go get a dog. You know why you don't go get a dog? Because you ain't got what it takes to get a dog caught motherfucker with this over here. You know why? Because we ain't about that talking that shit. We always been about that shit. No, I can get a dog if I need a dog. See, that's what back people up. That's what backs people up. Because why keep dealing with a motherfucker you know is really about that life? Because at that point, show and tell, you ain't about that life. You ain't about that life. And that's just real talk. I see a whole bunch of that shit going back and forth in the chat, right? But one thing I kind of noticed, I don't see the piece that I know is real motherfuckers. I don't see them going back and forth. I don't see people going back and forth with them. And the reason I don't see people going back and forth with them, because they don't say much. They don't put it out there and talk about, well, I did this or I did that. You very seldom even hear them saying anything. But I know they there. Some of them be in the back street, some of them will pop in. I'll never see nobody like, because maybe the way they carry themselves. But every time I do see the ones that be actually out there, you know, going through that bullshit, I know they ain't got shit. No, you ain't got shit, ain't never done shit. Because if you had to do some shit, as many pedigrees I see popping up, it would be easy to put receipts, and your receipts would have your name all over that shit. How many times have y'all seen that? Of all the shows y'all been on, how many times you ever seen a motherfucker go in there and go boop, boop, and bam, you be like, damn, that's so-and-so? How many times y'all done seen that? Y'all ain't see that. I don't see it. I ain't never seen it. Never. But you still see the bullshit. Go on Facebook. 4-time winners. They putting it out there, 3-time winners. And you looking at that shit and you asking, I be seeing it. And the breedings and the selling of the puppies. And I'm just looking at it and be like, first of all, who in their right mind would go over there and buy some shit for somebody who just openly does shit like that, knowing that selling and, dogs for the purpose of dog fighting is illegal. So why would I go over there to buy a dog from a person who publicly admits what he does with his dog? Because when they run over there and get him, you're going to get tied up into it because you bought one of them dogs and you bought that dog under the assumption for the purpose of dog fighting. Because the law didn't say, you can't sell a dog for the purpose of dog fighting. Not only can't you sell a dog for the purpose of dog fighting, you can't even buy a dog for the purpose of dog fighting. Now, look what it takes for the prosecution to win them 2 cases. To me, they just made it easy and evident because this motherfucker here, they got this 3-time winner, just put it out there, and then your dumb ass went out there taking pictures because you bought it. And that's supposed to be smart. Y'all got me fucked up, man. Man, look here. My hands is up because I don't fit into this life right here. I'm just saying. Because I don't understand when I hear people talk about we was stupid. We was stupid. Let me tell you something. The Journal, the American Game Dog Times, the Richard Stratton book, the Ed Crenshaw book, Velvet and Steel, and all the other magazines that was out there. I have yet to see anybody who got convicted on the fact of them being in those books. Because those books are protected by the First Amendment. Protected. Don't have to know when, where, or why. It is a publication. And somebody think that you're going to have this argument with me, then that means you don't know the law. You don't know the law. Don't tell me shit if you don't know. Do your homework. Go research the law. Hell, we got movies out here. BMF. There's a whole fucking movie series. American Gangster. Frank White. There's a whole fucking movie about this dude. Come on, man. It's protected information. Just because it's in the movie don't mean he did it. Just because it's in the book don't mean he did it. Protected information. But that's a whole lot different than you out here communicating on your phone and your email. At what point in time did you ever hear me say that your emails fall under that protection rule? You ain't never heard me say that shit. A phone call is not protected. Why you think they're wiretap phones? Why you think they look at Facebook and find these people and go knock on their door? This is a welfare check, you got dogs. Why do you think they can do that? Why do you think they could go to a magistrate and ask for a warrant and get a warrant signed because they have evidence? What's the evidence? Well, your dumb ass is on Facebook telling everybody. How about that? Did that ever dawn on anybody? that is not protected by the First Amendment? See, that's a whole lot different than writing a book or publishing a book. Those things are protected. There's nothing out there that says your information on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is protected information. What we do out here in the public, what we say right here, we're not promoting dogfighting at all. We're talking about the history, the education, sharing the knowledge, and for entertainment purposes only. And we make that clear. Now the law can take that and they try. Well, they did that. Well, we did that. Well, that again. This is right here. This situation right here is just like a book. It's a publication. Protected information. Too long to worry about. Don't know when, where, or why. You don't know. I mean, I just seen Diddy beat up his girl on TV. Y'all seen Diddy getting, beating up that girl like that. But he ain't locked up. They can't lock him up. Statute of limitations gone. I mean, we got to sit here and watch this beating that he denied all these years, and they can't do shit. And they, I apologize, I was going through. But this is the same motherfucker that was just lying about this shit all these years. I'm just talking shit. That's how this dog game shit looked to me. I'm just trying to keep it real. Because I hear too much. You ain't shit. You ain't never done shit. Who's saying this shit? Who the people that's actually saying this shit? Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Because anybody that sit there and listen to that kind of bullshit, it gets me to believe that you don't know shit, ain't never done shit, and if you're there to learn some shit, why are you learning from that person? What can you learn? Except how to bullshit. Remember, I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. What you hear me doing is something that you should be able to see for yourself and understand. Like I said, tonight, this is real talk. It's going hard way. I see too many faces in different places. And y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. It's evident. See for your damn self. If you knew, if you had anything, any knowledge, any type of knowledge, or had any parts of anything that was doing back in them days, you would understand clearly Twin is not lying. Because this shit out here, right? This is some bullshit. He don't know shit. He ain't never done shit. How can you tell? Look at all the reasons you can tell. So who's supposed to be the smart ones out there? Who the smart ones in the Shark Tank? Who them ones that really know that when they open their mouth, they have the right to open their mouth, because I know they know what they're talking about. I know they have an idea. They don't have to be on our level. You ain't have to get out there like we was out there. Because most of the time I told you we was out there. You don't have no idea, then you should see, y'all don't have the journals. Y'all don't know what the journal look like. So anything, if you ain't familiar with none of that shit, then trust me, there's too many journals that's still out here that we can still always go back. And there's so many people out here that we know, like Schoolboy said, if we want to know, we will know. If you was out there, you will know. Big shout out to my boy J Bo on his reward over the weekend. Y'all did be there with you. Wish I could have been there with you. I seen your boy. I appreciate that hookup, man, with my boy Big Ralph. I told you we was hanging out with him, bro. Appreciate that, J Bo, for looking out for us, man. Real talk. Big shout out to my man Roster Man. You know, Big Rob. You know, all my boys who got them awards this weekend. Another big shout out to all my boys who got out there. Sir Kennels in there. I seen the videos. Appreciate sharing that information with them. Sir Kennels, at least you putting in the work. Put in that work. Seeing this dog trying to do that wall climb was, you know, just to seeing the wall climbing competition, even the dog who was doing it for the first time, how well he did. You know, how well Sir Kennels did. Still getting them ribbed, you know, still getting them that first and that second on that conditioning. But as time, the more he does it, trust me, listen to what I'm telling y'all. That's the person that's putting in work, right? Now, I don't know how long he been at this. He might be a newbie to it. But I also understand if that's what he chooses to do, he will get better. Know how I know? Because I used to be at Sir Kennels. Just doing different shit. If you keep putting in the work, you're going to reap the rewards and the success from your work. That's a man that you can see putting in work. How you know he putting in work? Did y'all see the videos? Now, I don't knock no man who putting in the work because it's still a learning process. It's all a learning process. You know what I mean? That's why I don't get into when people trying to learn and how you learn. That's something that we all have to understand. If you don't know something, if you don't know, you better go somewhere to get where you can find out. And what's the best way to learn how to do something? By teaching it, by learning from a motherfucker who already done it and done it well. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. I'm just trying to understand the concept and the way of thinking of trying to move forward. And then watching all the drama and, you know, and look, fellas, y'all know I go down through the chat. You know, I might not do it the night of the show, but during the weeks, I actually get out, jump in the truck, or come home late at night and just run down the chat. Because I like to see what people talking about. I like to pull up some of them pedigrees that be down in there. I actually go in and I look to see, what's the name put that up? Big shout out to all my boys who be putting it up. Yeah, I go back and I look at our shit. Like, even when I be looking at that shit, remember, that's the now shit. So you already know, trust me when I'm telling you this, and I ain't putting none of y'all down. It's not, but I'm going to just keep this part real with you. Look at your pedigree and look at my pedigrees. I know we done sold a bunch of pedigrees. What's the difference? Now, y'all can talk all that shit y'all want about all that damn black. I don't care. Don't bother me. Because what it all still gonna come down with all that goddamn black is, I'm still talking about American Pit Bull Terrier. Y'all know the life I lived. I don't understand no other type of way when it comes down to these damn dogs. I don't see no other kind of way. Y'all got to make me believe that there's another way to get me to understand why this black shit's supposed to look better than all this colored shit over here. Y'all you ain't got enough work in to get me to believe nothing like that, because we've been doing this color shit for years. Many years. So that black shit, when I see it, what do you want me to say? What am I supposed to be looking at? It's supposed to be like, oh. And I ain't to put you down. I'm just trying to understand What you trying to show me? What am I looking at? I don't know none of the dogs, don't know none of the names. I see a whole bunch of black shit. Now, how far I got to go back, and that's the thing. I got to go back and go to clicking back to where I can go back to the color shit to see exactly what she was doing to bring me to the front. But shit, I have to do all that? Because we are all, even with our colored shit, not everything made it, fellas. Not everything made it. Not everything made it. With all that color shit, not everything made it. And just because you came out of pedigree of a whole bunch of color shit, you still got to be able to do what that color shit did to make you even worth talking about. When did that change? Huh?
You're doing good tonight, Mike. Sit down a little longer, boy, because you're talking some shit.
Man, it's real talk tonight, baby.
Talk
shit
Tuesday.
Shit.
Boy, you talking some shit now, boy.
Man, look here, man. Me and you talk. I'm like you now. Hold on. Don't argue with twin back and forth. Wait the fuck 1 minute. Is y'all crazy? I'm just trying to understand. What the hell are you looking for in the now that you have to be sitting there listening to some shit knowing that there's nothing there? I mean, I know our history is nothing like our mentors, the people that we talk about, the people who taught us the game. We go through them, we can show you a whole bunch of their shit. I ain't talking about there ain't a motherfucker that done came through here that done talked on here, and there's some that ain't made it through here that we still talk about, damn it, that they have history. I ain't talking about no 1 or 2 history. We are nothing like them. Nothing. Fat Bill, top dog. Roster Man, top dog. Schoolboy, top dog. Internationally known. I feel comfortable even being on their level. I mean, not above them, but at least I can get with them. I can get with them. We done ran in the same circles. They people know me. My people know them. So I can get with that. Ram. My people know them. I mean, Ram go back a long way. I told y'all that already. He was out there on the West Coast. He been in the VBK. They know Schoolboy. They remember them. There's a circle right there. All of them know each other. See, those people, I can get with them. Never trying to be better than them, but I can get with them. Because we all kind of ran in the same circle. Don't forget my man Bakari. I can't forget Big Bruh. Can't forget him either.
Going after Tyrone.
Remember, we was on the way after Tyrone. Things just happen. Big Bro, he already know. Well, like we saying we could beat him, remember, but it was all about competition. Some of my people been in the roster, man. Shit, think they ain't? That's the legendary roster, man. Who don't take advantage of trying to go into one of the baddest black men that on the Bulldog? That's what it was all about for us. Put them big boys on that checklist, man. This ain't about trying to be better than nobody. This is all about bulldogging. That's what we talking about over here. what y'all doing over there, but over here, we talking about bulldog. And anything other than that, you're right, we don't understand. So what you do over there, and what y'all listening to over there, it ain't nothing like nothing over here. Because ain't nothing over there done anything close to what them names I named over there. And the people I named, I think I kind of took care of the majors. To still actually get out here and share their past with you. And the people that they've met and the things that they have done. Them people right there, they can do that, man. How do you know they can do that? Because who don't know Schoolboy, who don't know Fat Bill, who don't know Bakari, only in America. Who don't know Roster Man, who don't know Schoolboy, and who don't know Ram. And PBK might not have been on our level. But one damn thing I can say about Nephew. Nephew rode with Crossroads. Regardless of what the hell, whatever y'all want to say, what y'all think. He was part of Crossroads. And they did stick their heads up out that motherfucker, and they didn't have no problems going into nobody. I tell you, they beat us. Remember, that was one, like they said, they got a one by their name when they beat us.
And they went in the Barracuda.
And they went in the Barracuda. So they were with their champion. Got their ass whooped, but the fact is, a couple of them got out there. You can't really be hating on, looking at my nigga like he ain't, Nephew like he ain't never done nothing because y'all just don't know his history. Y'all don't know nothing about him. Nothing. He talk about Sambo, yeah, I can guarantee you, everything that he said about him and Crossroad is true. All them dogs that he was out there dealing with, and they was always beating up on Walk'em. So, I'm still trying to figure out why Nephew's still in love with that Walk'em shit, knowing that y'all used to beat the shit out of the man over there with that bullshit. Crossroad did. I know you seen this shit. I know he was a part of it. I know he's seen it. He know. I know. But the fact is, he wasn't on our level, but he was wanting to get out there and put it, what he was learning, put it to the test. So what, he had one dog. Hell, he fought that motherfucker about 30, 40 times.
He wasn't doing it the right way.
He might not have been doing it the right way, but guess what? He was doing more than Sambo, and he was definitely running with some boys that was really doing dogs. And he was out there putting in his work with them. So that's why I sit back and, I don't put him on that level like where we was at, because he was young. He was young. But it's not like the other shit that I see. How can I say that? Remember, it took him to catch on, even for my boy, my nephew PBK. Even he had to check himself, because you got to remember, you don't know who he talking to. But at least he put in his homework. Go do your research. Now let's try to have that conversation again. I can say what the fuck I want to say. And then you're going to run out of shit saying by the time I get done. Because that's the way we felt about it. Not taking nothing away from him. But, we on two different levels, cuz. Two different levels. And I respect every man, regardless of what level you're on. Just know your level. Because it's still about bulldogging with us. And when you can talk, but you can only talk but so long, man. I ain't never been one for talking shit when you got bulldogs. Shit don't mean nothing. See, there's a whole lot of that shit going on. A whole lot of beeline shit going on. A whole lot of pro and game shit going on. And that's one thing I can say for Pro, though. He had a way of talking, but he opened up the door to the fuckery. Not taking nothing away from Thompson, but Thompson does what he does. Thompson's not a dog fighter. Not taking nothing away from Triple J. Triple J wasn't a dog fighter. Not like that one. And if he was, I ain't never run into him. I ain't never seen his shit. I know a whole bunch of damn people in the game. He never been a part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't taking nothing away from what a person do. You ain't never, ever heard me go to putting them on blast about anything until they got out of where that level was. Their level, you don't have to know me. You don't have to like the journal. But the thing is, this is what we do over here. You ain't got no business trying to get on that level because I'm not trying to drum down to your level. Because I wouldn't know you. We didn't run in them circles. You didn't do what I did. So there's nothing for you to say about anything that I do, and all I'm doing is telling you the truth. You ain't never done shit. There's nothing over here that you can talk about. You got good dogs. But that's good dogs to you. That ain't me putting nothing on it, because there's nothing that you can tell me when it comes to the American Pit Bull Terrier about a damn good dog when over here we fight dogs. You don't do that. Not like we did it. I mean, and not putting nothing on you. I'm just saying, we just didn't do what you did. Does that mean we putting them down because what we talk about over here is different than what you doing over there? We just on two different levels. Stay in your lane, because I'm going to stay in mine, and what you doing over there don't fit in this lane. That's just it. Ain't no black mark on them. Ain't no black mark on Thompson because he ain't do what we do. There ain't no black mark on them. They stay in their lane. But don't, get it twisted. We make it clear what our lane was. We make it clear what we talk about here. I don't understand the back and forth. When you good dogs is where you find them at. Well, I put that out there, and I seen, that wasn't even like that was one of the most controversial shows that we had. Even with the poll. And I'm going to tell you why. When we make, people always say good dogs, where you find them. Look, man, I'm going to answer this for our kennel. Good dogs are where the bad motherfuckers who got them going to have them. That's where you're going to find the good dogs at. A good dog going to be where a motherfucker who doing dog, that's where they're going to be at. I'm only saying that because in our history of the American Pit Bull Terrier, y'all see how we was breeding dogs. So it ain't about a good dog is where you find that, because that's some bullshit. I know exactly where to find them at. Because if you're looking for a good dog, where you supposed to go look for anything good? There ain't no such thing as a good dog is where you find it at. That's bullshit. If you want anything good in life, where's the first place you're going to look if you're trying to find something good? Real talk. Real talk. I'm going to find that good shit where the motherfucker's already showing, and I know he got good shit. That's where I'm headed. I ain't got to be acting like I'm looking over in everybody else's shit when I know over there and over there, and over there. How do I know? I did my research and I seen it. Put in some work, consistent. Got to get some of that. Not everybody gonna be able to do that. You gotta be able to, it's already, I keep telling you, it's the formula. It's the blueprint. How many times y'all done heard us say that? Well, I'm looking at.
How many times we didn't show?
We done shown them plenty of times, but I'm still sitting back looking at all these goddamn Earl Tudors and Maurice Carvers and Floyd Boudreaux and David Tant acting motherfuckers. This is almost getting ridiculous. How in the hell you gonna talk about dogs, but you ain't got one paper to show a goddamn bit of work that you done put in that you can stand on any fucking thing you saying? Y'all get me to understand how that shit work, man. Cause I ain't understanding that part. Especially to be arguing about anybody. And that ain't me out there pointing no fingers. I'm telling y'all, this real talk. If this real talk, then y'all know what the fuck, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know. Get me to understand what's to argue about. Can you argue? What can you argue about? Got the nerve. See, that's that kind of shit I be talking. You talk that shit, but you ain't about that. You ain't about that life. See, where I'm from, I'm really about that life. Trust me. Y'all want to talk dog? Y'all want to get down on some shit? Yeah. This ain't the place you want to be going after you ain't never done shit, because you fuck all the bullshit. Just we show our shit, you show your shit. That's how easy that was. That's how easy people, that's how we was dismissing people. Y'all look at our record now. Look at everybody that got into it with us. We always kept it on the dogs. Never got personal. Can literally tell you, bring your receipts. You know why you ain't got no receipts? Because you ain't got shit. You know why you ain't got shit? Because you ain't never done shit. That's a killer. That's a shut them down. That's a drop the mic moment. Because if you're talking about dogs, you ain't got nothing else to come back with. Your feelings is hurt. Your feelings is hurt. Understandable. But don't let it get no further than that, because more than that going to be hurt. You get in, if you want to act like you want to get stupid. Because then I'm going to show you. There's another part to this game too. Understand, some people ain't meant to be played with. We talk about dogs. If you stay in your lane, you wouldn't have that to worry about. Stop trying to be something that you ain't. Then you wouldn't have that to worry about, because you get your feelings hurt. Just take it on the chin and suck it up. But don't get no further than that. Don't go no further than that. Because I know you already ain't about that life. And I ain't got to talk about it. That part we ain't even got to talk about. We ain't got to even go back and forth on that. We leave that. We're gonna leave that. All right. We're gonna leave that like that. Yeah, we gonna. You know how we do it. You always hear it. We're gonna leave that like that. We say what we gotta say and we move on. I ain't gonna be going that back and forth. We ain't about all that shit. No. You can't be on the dog. I mean, you don't know me personally to even have that shit to say. This dog shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm an open book. I make it clear. Y'all Google us. Yeah, you can see my whole family, my businesses, and everything. Everything. Ain't nothing to hide and be out here faking the funk, acting like we something that we ain't. I ain't never been a part of our MO. Ever. You know? Outside the dog. That's outside the dog shit. You know what I'm saying? We old men now, man. This is almost like, This is how you ride out to the sunset type of shit. You know, this is just on the dog end. I can turn around and do this same shit on the music side. I can turn around and do the same shit on my business side. You know, it's always, you know, life is just always going to have this ups and downs and, you know, it's pitfalls. You know, but the game motherfuckers, they know how to get up and keep going. People who are good at what they do, they're going to tell you the reason behind their success if you're worthy of them telling you that. That's all. Like I said, tonight is real talk night. Now, I don't know. I ain't put up the number or nothing. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to read the chat, see what the hell going on over there, but I know it's kind of crazy. But, you know, I know it's the poll was out there tonight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the poll is.
Poll says, as Grand Champion Macho Buck surpassed Grand Champion Mayday all-in when it comes to production. 52% said no. 26% said they're about the same. A says 26% said they're about the same, and 22% said yes. Now that 22 and 26 ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's just show y'all don't know the dog game. That's clear. That's what? That's 48%. 48% don't have no idea. Y'all don't have a clue. That should have been at least in the high 90s. High 90s. Macho Buck is nowhere close. You better put Macho Buck. Macho Buck can't touch Yellow Buck. Macho Buck can't touch Nico. Macho Buck can't touch Nico Jr. Macho Buck can't touch goddamn Luca, and she ain't producing shit. It's just the dogs in themselves. Y'all riding so much on that evolution Chico Lopez side.
I don't even know how that even works because
The
it's still
salesman
the
game.
salesman game. Because man, I mean,
48% of y'all is caught up in that salesman and listening to shit. That means you don't know enough to make the proper decisions. But you can't knock your decisions and your answers, but it definitely shows your lack of knowledge.
I mean, you take a Macho Buck, and he's not off of Mayday. 357's off of Mayday.
Macho Buck
No.
He got Mayday in him.
He got Mayday in him.
But there's no way in the hell he's gonna ever be like Mayday.
No,
He's gone now.
Yeah.
All he was gonna do, he done done, and he is nowhere close to Mayday.
You better take this
close.
over. But look, fellas, I'm gonna turn this over to Mo because he already he done seen the poll and he already flipping and tripping. But y'all know I deal with this on the reality side of, you know, look, we here to learn something, but we're in the same token. Remember, I told you the integrity and the loyalty of the game. You know, that part is the part that I hold always true, because our loyalty always led to us learning. The integrity of the game led to why they were teaching us. Because if I didn't have the integrity and they didn't have any integrity, they would have never had. They didn't have to tell us shit. They didn't have to share shit. And some of the things that they told us and say, I want you to be telling everybody, you know what I mean? Then the loyalty to that person, you didn't tell everybody, you know, and that's just how loyalty worked. And then the truth. What's wrong with just being truthful? I don't understand that part either. Because if you don't know shit, it's all right to come right out and say it. We literally had to drag it out of pro. Had to drag it out of him. But when that pressure comes, it ain't but what all you can do, because you ain't gonna never come back with no receipts, because it ain't none. Yeah, you can go out there and start looking in our shit and be like, damn. Yeah, you can go out and look and find our shit, but can you do that for yourself? Because that's what this whole conversation is supposed to be about anyway. So, could have saved yourself a whole lot of heartache by just being truthful. For everybody who's been around and see that type of shit, you see what it looked like. You know? It's all right to be truthful. Get more respect that way. Because that's what the game is all about anyway. Having the respect, the loyalty, being truthful, with a bunch of integrity. That's what it's all about, man. Guarantee you, we're sticking them lines. We don't have all this other bullshit going on. We don't have all that back and forth. We actually can have a whole bunch of learning going on, because that's what I'm all about. Enjoying, understanding. Talk about that kind of crazy, because even in our time, we had enough controversy to have y'all out there flipping and tripping. A lot of you people out there back in them times, y'all probably know what that shit felt like. You know, but that's what it's all about. Understanding why you come and sit down and listen to this. And that's what we're trying to bring. I just thought it was time to have that conversation, because it's Talk Shit Tuesday. You know, I watched the numbers on my man Supernat. Kind of disappointed, because it's almost like a lot of people don't know who Supernat was. But in this dog community, come on. This is the dog community. If you don't know, and we talk about him, then you better go out and do your homework, because that man right there, you learn a whole lot. Remember, we had the opportunity to sit down and talk with a legend. Not read his book, not get on the phone, but be in his house and sit down and talk to the man. Knowing the type of history that he had in these dogs. And them numbers bother me. Them numbers bother me. Because a lot of y'all really don't know who Supernat really was. Y'all hear us always talk about him. But he's actually a lot more famous than some of my boys that I done brought on here. You know, he in that level. You know what I mean? He above some of them. Trust that. Remember, like we said, it's hard to find anybody. It's hard to find his losses. But that's why I be tripping. Because if you don't know, and we talk about it over here, it's somebody worth doing some research on. You want to see another way of how something was done and how it has such an impact on what we did and how we did what we did. You go back and see why we did what we did and why we talk about him. Understanding him and what he was able to do will get you to understand why we did what we did and why the hell we is talking about him. Understand? Can't get that. I mean, I can't say it no clearer than that. Because the work is always going to be shown. That's what it's all about. It's about the work. And the results of the work that you put in is worthy of talking about. I guarantee I can go back like we did and we can put up his shit. He was about that life. You notice we still haven't talked about the war eagle. We had Tony on here, so Tony know him very well. Harry. But Harry, and Supernat, totally two different levels, man. I mean, Harry right here, Supernat right here. Just be honest. And you can't argue about it if you don't know him. If you go out and do your research, you understand why we say that. Harry was a motherfucker, but he wasn't like this man. This man right here, it's hard to find his losses. You can find Harry's. Harry had enough of them. Supernat didn't. He didn't have enough losses because there wasn't many. He had a whole lot of 7-time and 6-time. I mean, a whole bunch. He was putting in that work. And always had great dogs that produced great dogs. And that's why I looked at the numbers and was like, wait a minute. Half these people don't even know who Supernat is. You know what I mean? They even want to come and hear who he was. That's some bullshit. That's why you see all this black shit around here and the people throwing pedigrees. Because I think they think that shit's supposed to be cool. But everybody shit that we show on here, our shit look like they shit. Don't look nothing like y'all shit. We're trying to get you on why we do this way. There is a formula and why they all greats did it this way. There's reasoning behind it. And just because it was bred that way, don't always guarantee it's going to work. So I don't get into that paper shit. We'll talk about our history. These great men back there. What y'all do with that information is totally up to you. But don't bring that bullshit and think I'm going to give you the same response because, again, if it don't look like this shit, I don't know what this shit is. That's all I'm saying. Y'all the ones changing it. I'm not in that life of change yet. Because, again, I didn't come from this era. But I think it's enough information that we can at least sit down and talk about it. And that's what we do. It's on you, Mo.
Where am I going to go from here? You said it all.
Well, man, you can damn near go ahead and get ready to close it down then.
I'm trying to tell you, hey, make this a short night here. Because there ain't no way in the hell I can say anything. You know what I'm saying? He's on some other shit on Talk Shit Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? I can iterate a little bit, but I mean that's to me it's like you can tell it's coming close to the end, and when it starts aggravating him, then he's getting where I'm at, and it's not the aggravation, it's the lack of knowledge, and that's where I always have to tell him that the information that we have put out since we've been doing this has had an impact. That's all I can tell you. I get a lot of thank yous. I get a lot of trying to keep me to hang in there, but I mean, I can hang in there and give you the enjoyment to get you through work, and sometimes can get you through the night. But at some point, when you're really doing what we've done, and y'all didn't got it all, because we put hours, many hours. We didn't have an hour show. We didn't chop our shows up. We gave you 4 and 5 hour shows for down to 2 years and almost 2.5 years soon. And it is getting about time for us to go. because it's not too much that you should not have in those videos to make you a great dog man.
Why you in the poll?
Hmm?
You ended the poll.
Oh, I thought I was cutting it off.
No.
No, shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I fucked up. See, I was over there playing and I ended the poll accidentally. I didn't mean to. You can't turn it back on? That's what I get for pushing the button. It was in the screen.
I know.
It was still down there, to be exact. I seen it down there at the bottom of it.
That's why I see it here.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, fellas. I fucked up the poll. But that poll right there, I mean, even where it was at, it was like, oh, man. 48%, 52%. I don't know whether y'all know y'all was picking the right choice. But that 22, 26%, that's that part that brings us so much closer to the end.
Because they have no idea.
Because that 48% has no idea. It has to be some type of emotional conversation. It has to be something in that 48%, but it sure as hell ain't knowledge.
I can guarantee you, get me 5 people, and you get 5 people, and they can have that debate get with you.
It wouldn't even. I would go through and put it up one thing, and get all 5 of y'all can come together and try to take that out. Give 5 of y'all against me in that conversation right there. And y'all can gather up all the information, and I'm only gonna come in with one dog. That's Mayday. That's it. Y'all want to call me Mayday Man, but everything that I tell you about Mayday and what he done is the truth. And if you haven't heard or seen enough, then what the hell y'all been coming to this show watching for if I still getting 48% in a comparison to such a great dog? You won't find too many pedigrees, y'all, with as many champions and grand champions of ROM, and that's including Macho Buck. Macho Buck never surpassed either one, the Stone City or the Southern Kennels. Macho Buck never did. You start talking about what Chico did with the stuff, okay, then you going on somebody's word that was way over there in Mexico. That's like us telling y'all that for everybody who believed that Mayday was still throwing puppies when they was over there in Ecuador, when he had 1,500 dogs coming back into the United States off of Mayday, then how the hell you think Chico could, Chico's doing the same damn thing. All his dogs was doing all this remarkable shit over there in Mexico, and it was all his story. His story. He built himself up around a lie. Not too many dog men out there like me to know and was so close to the line of dogs that I know the inner secrets and the inner stories of what was going on. That's why you didn't hear so much about it until I hit the scene. But then you see, when I hit the scene, I'm sitting here with Yellow Buck and Mayday dogs up close. Actually, the first person to put them together. And can go through the whole bunch of lines and tell you, man, you don't hear no great dog man running around throwing legendary signs over Chico and Evolution. They're a breeding kennel. Can we say they bred good dogs? They bred decent dogs. That's what it was. They were decent dogs. And you will find Macho Buck in a lot of great pedigrees because Macho Buck has the blood of 2 great connections that he had. Because he's part of that connection. He's a part of all the stories. When it comes to that shit, he's part of that story. But you gotta remember something. When Macho Buck was out there, they were still Stone City dogs out here winning. You know, they were still Mayday Dog. They were still Stone City Dogs, still out here winning. You know, in a stiffer competition where it wasn't about the paper game. It wasn't about, you know, flashing or trying to shine only to the public, but not to the box. Not taking nothing away because everybody got their hustle. But I always wondered, and it took me down to 20 years later to figure out, I was told why you never said nothing and let Chico in Evolution take y'all dogs and do what they was doing. And the best thing of the story was, because when they see our shit and we still there, they're going to come and see us. We're going to get ours. It's like promoting them. It was like promoting Victor, and it was like promoting Stone City. Victor wasn't active, but Stone City was still active. You see, you know, in the end, you know, my boy Tony had to get taken away and shit. So, you know, he was under that line. So you can't say he wasn't active. Based on the affidavit, they was giving half champions and champions. They're trying to put some worldwide shit together. Nothing but champions and grand champions on the card. That's how steep and deep they play. That's competition. That's when you're hungry. That's when you see the best of the best. Imagine if they would have ever pulled that off. But it was the hanging point, and it was only a failure because you just can't do what we used to do. And it cost them in a big way. So, you know, I always say, you know, when you're dealing with the now, you have to be special in the now. You know, that's, are there still great dogs out there? All we can say is yes. Why do we think there's still great dogs out there? Because if you understand what that means when I say it, that's one question you shouldn't even have to ask. The yes should be enough. You know what I mean? Because if you understand what I'm saying, you would know that. They're not in the numbers. But one thing for damn sure, if you take on what I'm saying, and if you're out there and your mind is in that mindset of being a historical factor in the history of the forward actions of this game, and you can stay out of jail and be successful, then you will make history real easy, because the only people who will know you is the people who need to know you. The only people that's going to respect you is the people that seen you go, or know that your dog was a winner, or know that you put that work in and you made something special, and your pedigree going to look like everybody else's. I can guarantee you that. Everybody else, you're going to become that 90%, because guess what? You figured it out. It's not a going in the kitchen and putting some potluck together, you know, throwing a whole bunch of shit together and see if you can come up with something that tasting good. Dog game don't work like that. Dog game work with you putting in the work and the sweat. You're going to have a whole lot of shit that you're going to be feeding unnecessary compared to what you're going to be feeding that is necessary. Nobody ever had a yard that everything on that yard was necessary. Necessary for what? Not everybody. There's nobody out there that had every damn dog on their yard that was unnecessary. Super Kennels, yeah, but they had more than the dogs. They had great dogs. Yeah, Super Kennels had great dogs. But you best believe they was feeding some shit that wasn't.
Not many.
They had some shit that they was feeding. It wasn't, like I said, they had more shit that they was feeding than they had great dogs. Most of us did. We speak on the dogs that, that we can, give up the sign to. But everybody else that we feeding, it was relevant to talk about. What about the other 20 or 30 dogs that we was feeding? It's that's just it's part of that story. Understanding. I mean, really getting down into the nit picking of the true purpose of our time and what it meant in the growth of the dog game based on how we took it from the 80s and brought it into the 90s. And then brought it into the 2000s in the early part. I give it up to 2010, before, and that's still, under that judicial guideline. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, there was so many of us out there and so much competition going on. You see, one shot wonders. You see an unknown kennel come in, you don't even know who he is, but shit, he be that big kennel, but you never see him again. That happens a lot because it's like the NFL. Don't everybody have a team to go play with? Everybody's working on a team, but don't everybody ever get to that position or that point into the game that they could be able to step in there and do the things that what a lot of us was able to do. And I'm always putting it on the people that I was around that made me. That's why I don't even try to stand on the same stairs with them. And when I do stand on the same stairs with them, I'm invited to step up because I deserve it. And that's not self-proclaimed. And every dog, man, we done had through this show, you done heard a lot of them tell you, man, hey, we proud of them. They're proud of us about. Because we got a chance to know them. And they taught us a lot. I hope these videos teach you guys a lot. To me, in these videos, it's just as much as important in these videos than it would be in the journal. We just can't pull up no dogs of last week or last month or 2 months ago and be flinging them all out here on YouTube bragging about them. Throwing pedigrees out here and with these great dogs and records other now, like this is the new way of doing the journal. It would never work. It would never work. And so, and to me, being a true dog man, with the hours that I done put into over 200 and something videos, goddamn, y'all. We can take all these videos and just chop them up and make a big ass video, on one disc, and have you laughing, have you writing, have you tripping. Are you feeling good? But it'll also have you very confident because you were smart enough to take that information and use it. Then you should be in the same position as we was. Because in all my stories, look at the dog man that you guys met. Just by being here watching this show. And we ain't talking about some nobodies who had a bunch of damn dogs. You know what I'm saying? And there was not one fast lane kennel that came on this show that you could not do nothing but like. Because the information they were spreading just in conversation on what they was talking about when it came to their own shit was interesting, funny, and remember, it takes work to win. If you can win, you just don't understand. That shit does not come easy. And there's no way in the hell you can walk in there with the baddest dog in your mind. Still, when you step over and you look across and you see that other dog, there's two people in the room. Two people in the room. I ain't going to call them people. I'm going to call them, there's two things in that room that don't know nothing. They don't know nothing that's going on around them. Don't know nothing about those pedigrees. Don't know nothing about those wins. There's two things that's standing there that don't know nothing but ready to go to war. And have no idea win or lose. Only they can answer that question. Only they can say somebody's lying. And to get to that right there, you have to put in the work. From the breeding, to the raising, to the schooling, to the calling, to the pre-keep, to the keep, to the box. If you want to be anything worthy of talking about, you got to do that shit 3 times. At the least. That's what it's all about back then. So I'm looking at it like, we getting down to that, that epilogue. What they call it towards the end of the show. That's where we at. You do more closing out, trying to get you guys to go back and start enjoying those videos and stop looking for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because at any time, there may not be a tomorrow. We might have one last good show. I've been playing around with the keep, trying to put it out. But every time we do certain shows, I get a chance to prove my point to Mike that half of this audience would never do nothing with it to know it, to what to do with it. And there's a lot of others out there who really want to know, and want to take that knowledge and run with it. They want to see me get detailed and shit like that. And you got a family who's know that it's getting that close to that time, and they rather see me come off of this and go do your book. Because we already got J-Bo, we got PBK, we got Thompson, we got Mr. Garcia, we got 7A Sports. I won't have no problem finishing up a book and putting it out there for anybody, Facebook, Twitter, everything. And it's going to be a big book. Because I'm going to have every dog man that's been on this show, and even the ones that weren't on this show, I'm going to give y'all a down there encyclopedia. And it's going to cover a lot of shit that was going to get out of these 200 videos that we've already done. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't talk in the now, so there's nothing I can talk about now. And I think we done talked up the history. We don't have one of those kind of rooms where you got people always calling in, talking. It's usually the same old people. Nobody else. And it seems like the only time something comes interesting is when there's some bullshit in the air, some kind of back and forth something, some kind of chaotic incident. And then, and it's like, what y'all noting that's what really, that's what really brought me towards, I think I've done enough and gave enough. And even my kids, and I have 6 girls and 5 boys. And when my kids say, "Leave it for the book, Dad," you've given enough away. Don't take the excitement out your book. Because every one of these guys that were great had taught me something. So when you do your book, put them all in there, Dad. Make it a volume 2 and 3 if you have to. But make sure you make it big enough for them to, like a Bible, so you'll have a complete book. We don't need 3 or 4 books because of my health, I might not get past the first book. But it's definitely what is becoming more important to me to want to really do than doing this show anymore. Because I don't know much more to talk about. If there was subjects that we could talk about that could help you guys would be sending me emails. Twin, let's talk about this. Twin, why don't you talk about that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's like, I just want you guys to know that 26 and 22%, it's been those kind of things. Y'all don't know how important those things are to me. Those things are very important to me. Because it shows me, the temperature in this time. It didn't take me long to figure out that, hey, I am like, Back to the Future. You know what I mean? We have more, what do we call it? When you have answers to those type of questions, man, and you wonder where is their mind at? You got to be a Mayday hater. It got to be something more than the dog. We cannot be talking just about the dog. Somewhere in there, there's something in there blocking your common sense or your understanding about this game. That I got 48% that literally was completely wrong. 52% right, 48% wrong. That's not good numbers, especially on something so simple.
You won't give me that 5 and 1. Y'all know about that 5 and 1.
Mad Doctor.
Hey, what's up, Mad Doctor? Hey, what's up, Mad Doctor?
How you doing, Mo?
Hey, what's up, baby?
How you doing, Mo?
Man, I'm tired, but I'm okay, bro.
Hey, I just want to make sure your health good first before I start talking what I want to talk.
Yes, sir. My health is good. It's not great, but it's good.
They can't handle your vocabulary. They can't handle none of your challenges. But what I want to know is about this, Mo. Hey, when dude sitting there ran that 5 and 1, that Hank, that Boomerang, and the Kingfish, and that Zebo, and that Art together, who had them dogs? See? So nobody know about that 5 and 1. A 5-1, 5-gram champion bred into one dog. Y'all call it scatterbred. To me, it was scatterbred. I took a sausage there and put it all together, and whatever scattered up, some gonna come out 5 grand champions.
Yeah.
Now, what you think about that, Mo? Tell me the truth on it.
It's but when you say 5-1, they don't understand. That's 5-1 of success.
I said grand champion Hank on the top, grand champion Boomerang, grand champion Art, grand champion. Let's see,
Zebo, don't forget Zebo.
Stubby Field Buddy Kingfish.
Yep.
It had a little bit of grand champion Zebo in. Now that's 5 dogs in one pup. Then you take that pup and breed it to the next pup. What you got? With a cross with Kobe, Nibbit dogs. And the paper said Nibbit.
Yep. Oh, family red.
You know why I read Nibbit's black? It go all the way back to Kobe. When they be telling that Kobe shit, they don't know it. But tell me that 5-1, 5 grand champion one. Y'all pull them down, our pedigrees up and show me 5-1. I just call out 5-1. You know, Mo. But how you doing, Mo?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I mean,
yeah,
I'm doing all right.
Russell's yak. That's Russell's yak. You know, so man, but you know, man, I'm glad you're up. Your health good, and I just called to say, hey, man, I'm straight from Alabama, 205 ass person. I've been in Detroit over 35 years.
Okay.
But when I first got my bulldog, my first bulldog was a mixed bulldog. He was like about 5 years old. His name was Bear. And Bear, well, I sick, you know, I can sick and get him. Yeah, he gonna get anything. I loved it. But after then, my people got killed in Detroit. Then I come up here, a dog bit up one of the people's children. I got me another puppy at 10 years old. And then grown people took my dog. They knew what it was. When I stepped on the scene, bro, it was 1993. You couldn't tell me nothing, you know. And then the person that taught me this, you told me you want to see something to find a wilder dog, the Klaus's dog. He had all that stuff. It was not there. None that he had. Like, damn, they ain't fighting. Yeah, I'm trying to turn them out. How you trying to turn something out? And then they just sitting there. I don't give a fuck how much you pay for them. I want my shit to eat. Eat. But is I'm wrong, talking wrong like this?
Nope.
Hello, Mo and Mike.
What up, man, doctor?
Yeah, I'm just saying, all right. And so, hey, if your chat want to hear this story, I don't care who in the chat. They come and contest me. I ain't caring about that. But, bro, it's hard in Detroit, bro.
Man, you know I know.
It's very hard in Detroit, bro.
You know I know.
You know?
I know. I played.
It's very hard here, bro. It will bust your head with a damn.
Man, look at the dog, man, you had up there.
Yeah, we looking for a goddamn pickle.
This is so hard for you, Daddy. Won't you let me make it soft and cut out all this dog talk and listen to this pussy talk and let these niggas take a walk?
No, I'm down money. I'm down with y'all, bro. She just talking shit. She just talking shit. Get off my damn chat, motherfucker.
What did I tell you? What I tell you?
Man, you get me monetized.
What I tell you?
But other than that though, no, some real stuff. When I got my first 2 puppies, I bought one. It was a red dog with a red nose. He had long hound dog ears. I guess that I don't know what y'all call that, Mayday, or I don't know what it was. Just a hound dog looking red dog. Mm-hmm. Cause I read the Richard Scranton book. I got fascinated about it. Then my cousin had a bulldog, a real bulldog, got beat by what? I don't want none of that shit. After I read that book, like you need gameness. But the whole point in my life was this: when I bought that red dog, went back and got a black dog. That JD Boss, JD Hall. That mother won, man. That dog won so many. Well, he hauled hunted so many times, man. But it feel bad to me. If you have kennel partners, then why would young people to know? If they don't know the game, they don't know the game. They don't know the basement. Why the fuck come down there? You know? What the fuck life is? What y'all want? Nigga, I ain't got time to be talking about no nigga bring your ass.
What I tell you,
And that's all it was, bro.
man,
And
doctor.
boss, he brought it every time. His sister, every time I bred them, I got the most purified puppies in the world. I could tell anybody.
Man,
You
doctor.
call anybody's name out in Detroit. But then I had kennel partners,
Man, doctor.
which had pure Kobe.
Man,
Now
doctor.
we cousins. He had pure Kobe. Now I gotta get along with you. But the dog didn't bite hard enough for him.
Man, doctor, can you hear me?
Excuse, they didn't bite hard enough because he had bringing Kobe stuff on top of my ball stuff. Then we bring on top of my ball stuff. He got, man, we were Bulls and Bars, which Ram was running. Ram was running Bulls and Bars. Flag with Bulls and Bars.
Yep.
So if you running Bulls and Bars, you coming at me. We got pure Kobe on top and my dog on the bottom. And then we stopped him. Me, I picked his face off. You pick a nigga's face off, but hey, nigga, but nigga wasn't. And nigga said, shit, you picked my face off, no. But the whole point was this. Then we took it to that Mayday dog. They brought a pure Mayday dog. Brown. And they
take
come
off.
up, Mayday dog coming grown. Then he had brown Mayday dog.
Go ahead, take it.
That motherfucker came right, man. Like I said.
You were talking good there for a minute. Then you weren't talking right. You know, I might get. You know, can't do too much nigga shit. It's not a nigga thing. You know what I mean? Can't say that nigga shit because everybody ain't. You know, it's not a nigga thing. You know, we said when we talking hood stuff, but it's like it's not meant to be a separation because everybody in this room ain't niggas. You know what I'm saying? So might be all on that. You know, me, I get excited, especially when, you know, I don't be reading the rules. I just come in here and sit in the chair and do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I get scolded sometimes. You know what I mean? You know, Rich, you can't do this. Now. Come on now. I know I get excited and worked up. But I think getting back and really iterating on what Mad Doctor was saying about Detroit. You know, remember, I have been all up in Detroit. And there's not too many of them that I haven't named. There's not too many that I haven't opened up the journals and pointed out West Side Hoorah. And look at the matches that they was in. My boy Armin, you know, y'all done heard all them. I mean, it's not really too many Detroit guys that I had never spoken with. I got to talking about the boys up there in Flint. I got to talking about the boys all the way up there in Saginaw. You know, Norm, he was up there in Kalamazoo. So it's basically, to me, the state of Michigan. I think Detroit was just the you know, basically the basic meeting ground, you know what I'm saying, to greatness. You know, because a lot of that was congested. Big Rob, all these guys was all in that one. They was all in Detroit. You know, you don't hear too many people talk about Big Leonard. You know, a lot of guys I'll be hearing. I done seen Noonie do a show. I done seen 2 shows. Noonie been on their show. But, yeah, you mean, I don't. But then after I watched the show and I watched the comments, you know, y'all just don't know how great Noonie was to the game. Him and his boy. It's like y'all, the impact that True Colors and McNasty and Abrahams, you know, SWAT team, City Slick. These are great Kennels, because of the now, y'all have no slight idea who I'm talking about. Especially 48% of y'all. I know, guarantee you, I know 48% of y'all have no idea of these people and the dogs that they had. You know, and that's what hurts the future to me, because so much of the greatness is going to get lost in the past and lost in history. Where we will still be pulling up Frank Rocca and Tom Gardner and Floyd Boudreaux and James Crenshaw. If you listen to the names that I'm steady saying. Chico Lopez. You know, these are the names. Malcan. These names I'm speaking on. Nothing of the level or the greatness of those very guys that I spoke on prior to these guys I'm talking about right now. Not even on the same level. But it's important that I got that out there. And I got it out there on video. You know, hopefully before I'm done, I'll be able to get Noonie to give me his presence. You know, he was a big one. I'll never get Ralph. I'll have to get Big Ralph and sit down there and do an interview with Big Ralph to put in my book. Because he's just not an internet guy. He's just not going to do it. Which I understand. But he's a great dog man himself. You know, and for those in the Detroit area, you know, and he don't even live there, ain't lived there in years. I guarantee you can walk into any dog camp up there in Detroit and say Big Ralph, and they know him. They might not know him, but they'll know of him because of the impact. He was part of one of those kennels that made that Michigan area so relevant, because a lot of great dogs came out of that area. A lot of great matches happened in that area. You know, so that's part of history that if we don't say it, then the new ones who don't know don't have nothing really, you know, in your background as far as what you're trying to learn. You know, without these guys here, y'all only getting a half a book. You know, we still grabbing Richard Stratton. We still grabbing all these other books. But you ain't gonna see none of these names in those other books. You're not gonna see out of all the books is out there. I can say that only 2% of the game, the true game, the real players are not in those books. You might catch a couple matches if you got some old journals. You might catch a couple of them in Fat Bill book. But, fellas, these people was more important to the era that I was in than James Crenshaw, than Floyd Boudreaux. You know, Tom Gardner was buying dogs that were champions, not because Tom made them champions. Tom was paying top dollar. You got the dog, you won with the dog. Tom was like schoolboy. He do his homework, except Tom just go get the money and come and buy your shit. He want to keep his name relevant, and as long as he's buying and he's taking these dogs and making them relevant under the Gardner, you can't hate him. It's a business. He's not fighting dogs. that he got great dogs. You know, I could never call him a great dog fighter because he's not. You know, so my thing was in our area, it was the dog fighters. Bottom line. And if you have some great ROMs coming out, they was coming out of dog fighting dogs or dog fighting camps. You know, and whether they like Mayday or not, Mayday was a major change in the game. Prior to that, it was yellow. Why would you say yellow, twin? I mean, come on, y'all. We've been through all that. I mean, yellow was out there with Jeep. There was a time it was Jeep in yellow, in buck. And this is just on the ROM list. And they were all, Jeep was the only dog that wasn't the grand champion at number one. Damn near the 3 dogs under him was grand champions. And by the time Frisco got there, he wasn't even a one-time winner. He's just a producer. A producer coming out of a breeder's camp. What made Frisco such a great dog? That means Frisco had to have dogs coming off of me who was winning. And sure as hell wasn't Tom fighting them. Just remember that. And it's something that you want to hold on to, because if you don't put your stuff in the square, you're going to miss it all. And I think the last thing that I want to do is, I want to take time out and take these hours that I'm spending out here and put that same effort into, putting a mic in front of my face and just go back and tell my story. Well, you guys that had the videos in the book. I'm going to have all the great ones. You already know Jigger's going to be in my shit. You already know Louis Combine going to be in my shit. You already know Game going to be in my shit. You're going to, and then there's so many other great kennels. Like Tight, Shut Him Down. I did say Mayhem. Yeah. There's so many of them. Don't forget Dramacide. All these guys got a place in my book, because between the videos in that book, for those who's lucky enough to want to get it and use it as I got all my journals, and I got Fat Bill's book, I got Schoolboy's book, you know what I'm saying? I have my own books before they took them and shit, but I got very important books that are important to me because it's part of a past that before I got those books would have been nothing more than a memory. So for me to be able to have those books, man, if I don't open them every day, but guess what? I got part of history. They were able to put it in. But are these books complete? No. Because the real Bulldoggers is not in there. They can't sit there and talk about the great matches with Kenny Allen like we can. They can't talk about the great matches with Rebel Kennels like we can. Or the great matches and the great dogs that came out of Florida like we can. Or Texas. Major players, Mad, DSK, Big Thicket, Plowboy, Thunder Kennels. I just said Wallboys. These are guys that they're major players. Not taking nothing away from those down there in Texas if I didn't run you off, but if I forgot you and didn't say you, and you listening to me, listen to who I named. So if there's somebody in there that felt like that there's a part of that right there, and you can match up to those kennels right there, then I'll be glad to hear from you.
Captain America from Texas.
Canada. But it's like I can do that from Florida to Texas to Arkansas to Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, PA, New York, Jersey, Buffalo, Virginia, West Virginia. I mean, there is so many great ones. We can even run over there and grab Cane Valley. They were matching a lot of dogs. People don't even know about Cane Valley, that middle coast, that Midwest. They don't know about LA out there in California, BBK. Those were great kennels. So Mr. Romero, the one that had Frisco, you know what I'm saying? The Tom hooked him up when he had Chinaman. He was out there in Cali. The dog, them two dogs in themselves is stamped in history. Stamped right there in history. We can talk about them and y'all remember them. If we all remember Triple M. Would y'all remember any of these people that's been on this show? Would you remember any of these people that we talked about? Would you remember those pedigrees? Would you remember the controversial stories? You got those videos to always fall back on to go see them. If you don't feel like sitting through a bunch of videos, remember we did videos we did over 200 videos, guys. And the average was always over 4 hours. That's a lot of videos and a lot of time. Could have broke them down into hours and probably got another 3 or 4 years out of it and really had a good one. But we gave up so much time to get it in because of that sand glass. The sand glass is still running. But now I've done all I wanted to do. I just got one more thing to give you guys. You know, and it's just, I'm still trying to figure out how to give it to you. You know, there's a lot of guys out there in the back street that really appreciated what I did in the beginning and want me to stop at the end because they don't want everybody else to have what they recognize I was given back then. And they were able to up their game, regardless of whatever the hell they doing. They had enough to come back and tell me thank you. And coming back now protesting. They protested. Because they said, hey, there was many times a lot of them paid for it just to see it. You know? They don't want to see me walk out the door giving you the biggest jewel that I had. That last bit of knowledge to give you. And the stories and the things that led up to where I do the things that I do. I can even show you in black and white on some of the stuff that I would probably have in my book directly coming out of the people's mouth. Why you think it made sense to me, then it should make sense to you. Not always on what twins say, because one thing for damn sure, twin is nothing but a encyclopedia with a whole bunch of references and information coming from places that has done it. And in that information gathering, I was able to do it, to prove that it worked. So the book is more important to me now because I literally need to sit down and do it. I think everybody around me is happy to see me go ahead and spend that time. Because as long as I keep doing this right here, it's not going to get done. And I don't have much more to give doing this right here. I'm just entertainment. And it was good for entertainment, but the show wasn't really put together for the purpose of me being entertained doing it. It never was about that, was it, Mike? Nope. So this is very important to me that you guys get ready and give these other guys a chance with their shows to come up and fill this void and fill that gap that when I do leave. Definitely enjoyed all y'all and definitely love the hell out of everybody in my chat. I love everybody who has supported this show. But don't think I'm going to quit tomorrow. Don't think I'm saying my last hurrah. Until I get when y'all see my gear, when y'all see the gear, that's another reason that I don't want to leave the show until I get all my gear out. But to find the time between doctor's appointments and feeling good and feeling up to getting Mike to sit down there and complete that task, we is going on 63 years old, guys. You don't understand. Time is real hard for us right now to do anything. And it definitely does this wear and tear, even when it comes down to being responsible enough on Tuesdays and Fridays to come and do this show. But we going to continue to scratch because there's still a match going on. I still got stuff that I got to get done, and I got to get out to my big supporters and give you guys a chance to get that little bit of memorabilia that I'm going to leave out here on the way out the door. And hopefully in time, I can put a great book together and have all the people who was in the book has been on this show. And the ones that wasn't on the show that I talked about, I want to have in the book. And then, that would be the final answer. But until then, I'm going to keep struggling on down in through here. And if guys, you got suggestions that you want to talk about certain things or have a question or just come on the show and put some input in, definitely be welcome. I see everybody, in other shows, but this is a real dog fighting show here. And I guarantee you, we is the quietest podcast on YouTube when it comes to this part of the game. Nobody calls in. And every once in a while, it's really the same old people. And they're still good people, but it's the same people. More them than everybody else. But I understand why. And like the Backstreet say, they don't even read the chats. They don't read the chat. They don't know nothing about that chat room. They just be pushing play with some earbuds. Don't even need to look at me. They just want to sit there and be listening. And if they wake up in the morning and feel like they messed something, they'll go to work and hit play. There's conversations we have in the Backstreet after the show. My girl stays mad because there's guys, I've always told everybody I'm reachable. But you got 3 or 4 people calling me and they're averaging 2 and 3 hours on the phone just because they get an opportunity to talk with me and we can shoot it out like that. You get 3 calls of those a day, and you look, you beating up around 12, 13 hours, and you got your wife looking at you like you stupid. You lost your mind? When they start calling the dog man my girlfriend. You know, when your woman start talking like that, you know what I'm saying? She's sitting around watching me talk on the phone too much. Better find me something to do. And even when we're doing that, it doesn't stop the phone because I'm gonna always be reachable. And until I get this part up right here, it's gonna be that way. You know? But I mean, 200 something videos later, I mean, and definitely I've given you many hours of some real shit. So let's work on this continued on support fellas, and understand where we headed with this. Get all the questions in, get all the comments in, because this shit is gonna be history. The only way this shit gonna be taken down will be long after I go, and YouTube will probably be cease to exist. So somewhere around here, 20 years from now, and YouTube, if YouTube ain't here, y'all make sure y'all get some of these videos and watch how important this shit is 20 and 30 years down the line. Imagine if we could go back in here and still pull up Don Mayfield talking about his keep on YouTube. Imagine sitting there watching Tom Gardner sitting there doing his YouTube, and Schoolboy, they doing their little podcasts and shit. 20 years from now, do y'all know how big that's going to be? Where we look at this shit because we seeing the shit in our face, but in the future, that shit is going to be like, you know, a space capsule. Putting it in the ground and digging it up. And if I get my book done, I know that's going to stick around. And I'm going to tell you why. Because while y'all still talking about Boudreaux, Crenshaw, Gardner, Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Tant. Y'all hearing these names? You know what I'm saying? Listen to the names. Gaston, Ratliff, STP, Mr. Whitby, you know, Mr. Hargrove, Supernat. And we don't even say nothing about Supernat, but he gonna be on my shit. Yeah, there's stories out there about Supernat and Ace and shit like that. I think there's a story out there, a short story on Racehorse. But these listen to the names, and I'm saying. But they wasn't the true rollers, y'all. They wasn't the New Jacks, y'all. They wasn't the one that made Mayday famous, y'all. You ain't gonna find Mayday in none of them names that I just rattled off. Victor stands on his own accord with Mayday because he won with Mayday, Dragon Lady, and Choice. Those were all litter mates. Come to the Mayday dogs or Mayday or Yellow Brand to Dolly, period. Victor did that with 3 dogs. And then took the 1 dog and broke all kind of American Pit Bull records in our dog fighting world. So for y'all 48%, I said the dog broke all kind of records in the dog fighting world. A record that I know gonna be around a long time. Like Jeep was on that top row list with no controversy. None. That's Mayday. Do your homework, 48%. Got work to do, 48%. And for those ones that said they're about the same, 26%, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. It's not even in the fact you don't know. But, to hear, I could go with the yes, 22%. I can understand y'all, because y'all just got it flat out wrong. But to sit there and call them the same, the no's was 22%. And the yeses was 22%. And they was the same was 26%. Because Macho Buck is nowhere close to Mayday. And those 52% that said no, the other 48, that's half. That's not a great number when you're talking about real bulldogging, man. That's showing me that 48%. That's almost half of everybody who watching this show tonight, the journey on that poll, believe that shit or don't have no idea. Because they sure wasn't taking a poll on facts. Facts. No, you got to get Jeep the ears. You got to get there's a bunch of great dogs. You just got to give them the ears. But then there's some dogs that stand up there on that pedestal, like Jeep, like Frisco, like Grand Champion Buck, like Grand Champion Yellow, like Grand Champion Mayday, like Awesome Baby, Cold Bitch, sitting right under Honey Bunch. And all the bad bitches down in there, including Going Hard, baby. You see what I'm saying? They sit up there in that higher level. There's a level. Remember, Honey Bunch had like 7. Awesome Baby had 5, and she was number 2 on the list. Number 2. With 5. And had plenty of other dogs off of the dogs she produced that produced dogs too. So not only did she get her 5, she made a whole line of shit that gave all that other shit a chance to be on the all-win. Remember, Awesome Baby, you got to put Yellow Buck. Miss Nico, you got to put Nico. You got to put Nico Jr., you got to put Baby. You got to put so many dogs out of that Stone City line on that all-win list because they produced a lot of all-win. And you got to do the same thing for Mayday. Same thing. You got to do it with Hardcore. Same thing. Not only was these great dog men that matched dogs, they produced great dogs too. And that's a very hard thing to do, is to be able to win and produce what you're winning with. And I was able to copy that and use that. And made it relevant enough to be able to sit in this chair and give it back to y'all and show you, have told you in the last 200-something videos what all that was about. So that would be something great for you guys to have. So when you see all these other books, there's one book in there that's giving you the whole truth of what really made this shit. And I can guarantee you, I'm going to have shit in there that you can't argue about. You can't argue with me about hardcore. You cannot argue with me about Mayday. You cannot argue with me about Stone City. You can't argue with me about Supernet. You cannot argue with me about the Legion of Doom. You wouldn't be able to argue with me about Triple M. Or Black Dragon, Tony Wade. There's none of these people that you could ever argue with me about because they are relevant in this history of the game and not because I say it. I have proven to you, without opening my mouth, the facts. The facts. That's why they're here. That's why we shared all that information. So be ready to grab it, guys, and take it to the future with you. Shoot, James Crenshaw's book, I got it for $100. And I got it with all kind of extra shit. And I left it with my partner, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know where it ended up. But I had the James Crenshaw book, and I was pretty proud of that book. Signed by James, knowing it would be something special. Now, you ain't gonna get it for no $100 now. Not at all. And the only dark person in that book was Nate Newton. But I still love that book just because it was from a great dog man. But 20 years later, guess what? I don't feel the same way now. Because if that's a great book, then I got a greater book. I didn't produce a Jeep. And I'm not sitting up there number 1 on that ROM list. Or number 2 or 3 or 4. But I took that 1, 2, and 3 on both sides, male and females, on that ROM list, and a combination of great kennels, and was able to put some shit together that made me just as worthy, just as competitive, just as relevant. Now I'm ready to sit here and leave it out there, you know what I'm saying, for the history, so it won't be forgotten. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave it right there, fellas. We're going to enjoy it right there. Is there any questions, Mike? Guys, if you have any questions, the email is still going hard. kennelsreloaded@gmail.com. You got anything in particular to help me continue to do all this stuff? You know, while I'm putting this other stuff together, and you know, because I want to hang around until I'm done with most of it so I can present it to you before we stop doing this. I want to have finished products and things to be looking forward to. I'm just not going to just drop off the air and not be able to do that to make sure you guys know, what's going on when I do leave. There's going to be stuff out there that you're going to have an opportunity to get, an opportunity for y'all to go through, and an opportunity y'all to talk about. So I'm not trying to shut down tonight, but definitely going to be a lot shorter shows.
My man K-Walk said Chico was open house, the twins. D-Town was Evolution.
But I know all their names. D-Town, Open House, Chosen Few. You know what I'm saying? I know all the names. What was the other one? Guzman. I know all their names. I knew all their names. You're right. Not just Open House. Not just D-Town. Not just Evolution. You had the Chosen Few and the Guzman. Yes, you're right, my friend. They have many names.
which is nothing wrong with having many names. You know, the bad part is, you know, if you were to take Chico and his dogs and really put Chico in a room, and give Chico that third degree on all these so-called great dogs that he was using in Mexico, because wasn't none of that shit doing shit here in the United States for us to even want to make it an issue. Well, the Super Kennels remember, Super Kennels is over 357. Right. And he was in a match with a good dog, too, now. Right. Not saying that. I'm just saying, if you're going to be a real grand champion, win real 5 matches. That's all I'm saying. You're going to be a grand champion, win all 5 matches. Not give me 3 champions and 3 wins and slide in the other 2. Well, that's all we're saying. And a couple of those things. You know, watch this hand while this other hand cheating like a mother. You don't see this other hand, do you? It's doing all kind of shit over here. By the time I put this hand down and this hand pop up, it's going to pop up right over here in this hand again. You still don't see that hand doing all kind of shit. But I got a product now. Where'd this come from? It came from the bullshit hand. And it came from the bullshit hand. And what's this bullshit for? To get as many people to believe that bullshit as you can. To make money. Town does it to this day. You bullshit y'all, gets mad at y'all, cuss y'all out. When y'all try to back him into a corner, he gets defensive. Okay? And we still call him one of the greatest dog man producers because we see his names in everybody's pedigree. And if you got some good dogs, you gotta remember he ain't the one fighting them. He's the one selling them. Anything else, Mike? This was a good Talk Shit Tuesday. I mean, I felt good talking about this shit. There'll be some shit you want to get off your chest. Mike has some shit to get off his chest. Because a lot of the backstreet be like, how can anybody talk about some shit? And it's funny, how can they even come back? How can they even come back? If they ain't done what y'all doing, where's the get back? Where's the comeback, twin? That's the part I can't understand. Well, again, tonight is another example of 48% in comparison with Mayday. Thought that he was just as good as Mayday Macho Buck. Or the same. Macho Buck the same as Mayday? 48% of y'all.
That's the shit I be talking about.
Man, that is some...
I tell you, we need 5 people on that other end that will fight that issue and have at least have something to stand on.
Right. I would take 5 on me to have that argument. Get your best 5. I'm going to take you on by myself with one dog. You take Macho Buck and throw another one in there. You're going to need another one. You better get some help. You better grab 357. You better grab 357 because you know Macho Buck got Mayday in him. So you better grab 357. And I challenge everybody who put in on that 48% to debate that. And I'm going to tell you, when I get done, I can guarantee you, let me go first, and I can guarantee you it will be over after I'm done. We wouldn't even have the first round. As soon as I come up over there and hitting you with these bombs, and there ain't going to be nothing over there in Ecuador either. I'm going to beat you up right here because ain't no other dog out there can run off 11, 12, 13 champions in one air that did not come out of Southern Kennels, who was not matched by Southern Kennels. 13, I think it's like 15 on the reel. 15 champions and grand champions. How many of them made OM? How many of them you gonna see in OM dogs? Who has a pedigree that you can go register or merit? That's yellow. No, we can start with red boy. We're going to start with red boy. Red boy register and merit. Yellow John register and merit. Yellow register and merit. Mayday yellow register and merit. Liu Kang register and merit. That's 5 generations of register and merits. 5 in a row. That means we went not only past the 4, we on the other page. Other page. How many of these dogs out there you gonna see with a pedigree like that? That's just in the breeding program. That's just in the breeding program. Okay? Now, when we start talking about combat, competition, every one of those dogs were winners. Well, let's just start with Yellow John. Champion. Grand Champion Yellow. Grand Champion Mayday. Grand Champion Liu Kang. Grand Champion Miss Luca. Another 5. Another 5. Another 5. And we're still talking about Mayday. We're still talking about Mayday. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. What would be your comeback? There is none. Those are record setters right there. Those are history makers right there. There's nothing you can come back with. Nothing. Only what? I mean, you would have to be on some real dumb shit. Because you would not be able to bring no receipts to compare nothing to that. Nothing. And it's not trying to make me a Mayday lover. This ain't got nothing to do with me being a Mayday lover. That's a fact that I ain't got to even like Mayday. And still, you don't got to like it, but you can't deny the fact. You can't deny the fact. And we just can't go and have to keep using Liu Kang. We can use Barracuda. Yeah. Don't forget, I got Baby. She was the first Mayday Stone City Cross. And she registered and married. To be honest, I think what she got 4. 4? We still trying to figure out Macho Bucks 4. That's all I'm saying. We still trying to figure out his fault. You know, they got a habit of popping over these registered merits and shit and with no credibility to any one of them being fought in the United States. So that in itself, you see, the comeback wouldn't be none. Well, he's a registered merit too, but nah. No, he's not. It's not real.
Asterisk.
Yeah, we gotta put the asterisk behind that. We gotta put that over there with Frisco shit. You know, they start putting them asterisks on that shit because it's really unverifiable. It's not really literally correct because it wasn't really tested over here in our country where it really count and matters. So we put the asterisk there. Macho Buck right here in the United States carrying an asterisk. 48%. Sad. Come on in here, man. Well, I'll start getting back on that shit.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas. I know that was a funny part of it. You know what I'm saying?
I got 30 people in the chat right now. I'm not going to say how many. I really need everybody to give me them damn thumbs up, thumbs up.
Might as well.
Thumbs up, thumbs
We
up.
ain't got a lot in here, but that's okay.
Muscles.
You on the back street, hit that like button.
Muscles.
On the back street, hit that like button. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Muscles.
They don't give up names in the back street on our likes, y'all. Don't worry about it. Hit the like button.
But I know everybody can give up some damn roses.
Roses. We need them damn roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little slow on the roses and all that good stuff, man. Y'all need to pick it up.
I'll be checking them out, man. I'm kind of just,
Y'all gotta pick them up, fellas. I'm trying to tell you.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. Let me get over here. Let me get this nigga.
Yeah, that's why Mike done choked out on it. That's why you don't hear me talking no keep shit tonight. Mike damn near put a slot on that. All it take was a couple of dogs. Hey, twin, you need to just shut up. You know what I mean? They don't deserve it. They ain't gonna use it. They ain't gonna do shit with it.
That just pisses me off.
You need to go ahead and just do your book, man, and let us get out there, man, so we can study it. Don't give it to these people. Man, them people on your show, they don't know shit. That's what they saying. Shit, you got old dog, man, getting mad because they getting whooped now. Twin and learning, man. Twin and learning. You teaching them some shit, man. They starting to act like they know what they talking about down in that basement, man. It's becoming dangerous good. I mean, how would they not?
Mentorship.
That's all it is. And I don't mind being y'all mentor. Even if it came through a podcast. The love is the same way. Just like you was there. And you can take everybody in these shows that we done, take that shit into the future, and pull them old chats up and see I was right there. And for those who met us out there and will continue to see us because we're going to start going to shows. You know, I didn't get a chance to go see J-Bo get his award. Shout out J-Bo. You know, congratulations, baby. I told you was a legend, man. The legendary shit is not self-proclaimed. You earn it. And you finally gotta understand that. You gotta wear that badge like everybody else, baby. No more standing in the back of the club against the wall. You got to come over here and stand with me, baby boy.
No more sitting in the back seat.
Yeah, sitting in the back seat. Come on up here with your brothers now.
Get in the driver's seat.
You got your jacket on now.
Got your jacket now.
Come on, man. No more of that shit. We don't want to hear that shit.
Right. Roster man.
Yeah, you around the grave.
The grave.
Lockdown,
Rudy.
Floyd, Boudreaux. Shit.
Woo.
Big Rock in there. Yeah, you got the award, baby.
And then hang it up with Bad Bill.
Come on, man.
J-Bo.
J-Bo.
Big shout out
to J-Bo, man.
Hey, you gotta love that kind of man. You know,
man,
that's
you
like
deserved it, bro. I always said you deserved it day one.
Day one, bro. Glad to see you get that recognition, though. You know what I'm saying?
Far long overdue.
Well long overdue. Appreciate that. For everybody who showed up, showed them the love. Big shout out to Fat Bill for representing. Big shout out to Floyd for showing up. Big shout out to Roster Man. Big shout out to everybody who showed up and showed the love. The pictures was great. For all those who got them pictures, you need to get them now because I tell you they're going to be worth so much more in the future. Trust that. Believe that. Just be grateful that you got it and you got a chance to say, I was there. That's me in that picture with the great Floyd Boudreaux. You know, so, hey, that's how we look at it. You know, suggest that everybody else do the same.
You know, it happens once in a lifetime.
It happens once in a lifetime. Not everybody can do that. But, again, what in the day was this Talk Shit Tuesday? I call it real talk. I think it was this time. You know, I don't want everybody to think that we blind to what's going on out here. 'Cause far from that. The thing I don't like about it is, like I said, real recognize real. And I am just shocked to realize how much fake is out here.
I don't really think it's fake.
It's fake as hell because you know what?
They're trying to be something.
I ain't nowhere in the hell you can call yourself arguing with anybody who knows what they talking about. I watch this damn chat and I know there's some damn good dog men out there. And I see people saying doing some crazy shit. But I see the real motherfuckers that I know that's real, they don't never have shit to say. I've never seen anybody go back and forth with one of the people that I know who they are. But I see everything else going on. And I know that's some fake shit. How the hell is two people who ain't got shit, who have never done shit, be arguing with each other? I don't get that. That goes way over my head. Way over my head. Because it takes away from everybody else who's trying to learn something, who's trying to enjoy something, and then you got two fake asses arguing, knowing damn well ain't neither one of you done shit.
Ain't even trying to go in each other.
Ain't even
Brother
just
Jeff.
I got the bigger butt.
I got the bigger one.
Yeah.
Shit,
that, man. That's how I be looking at that shit, man.
That's how I be looking at it.
And it be so much of it, it's kind of like, man, you got to be kidding me. Why is we doing this? That's basically where I'm at. You know what I mean? You've done enough. Let's get the book, man. Let's roll. We're not trying to say, you know, talk down on anybody or point my finger at anybody that's out there. That's not my point. My point is, if you're going to go out there and you're going to represent something, you know what I'm saying? Represent it and be real about what you represent. Don't try to be something that you're not. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and represent what you're doing. And whatever you're doing, make sure it's for the right reasons. And you're really trying to help people based off of only what you know. And that you don't know, you bring people in to make things better. This game ain't gonna never move forward with all the fakery shit that I see. You know what I'm saying? It's like me being a wrestler and you throw me on a baseball field with the professionals and think I'm going to hit a ball. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to need some damn help.
You know, I come up there with the uniform. I didn't come up there swinging that bat like I'm
Oh,
like
so don't think I won't be taking them that power swing. But I think they first got to get me to hold the bat. Remember, we was playing softball, right? They still had to tell me how to hit the bat. I still wouldn't hold the bat the way they told me. I held the bat the way I felt was comfortable. Damn all that. I'm left hand. I'm gonna handle the bat the way I feel is comfortable. See, I didn't have a problem getting on first base. I wasn't knocking nothing out of the park. My thing was get on base, hit the ball. But I know I couldn't hit a professional ball like that. Not the way I be 93, 98 miles an hour.
I'm ducking.
I think, shit, damn ball. I've been hit by a bat. I got a mark right there. Where I stopped playing baseball. I got hit with a bat. I was playing catcher. Split my face open. Bang, right there. Right under my eye. On a full swing. So, yeah, I never was a fan of baseball. A bat did it. I can imagine what a ball runner like that would do. Hit you in the side of the head. See what it did. A foul ball did to a kid. Shit, damn that. But that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm on the real. See, real recognize real. This game was built on realness. You couldn't just talk that shit and couldn't get down and find out what the real deal was. It just didn't happen that way. And that's what, we're going to take it back to that. We're going to leave it at that and we're going to move forward. This ain't about hating. Sometimes it pays to shut up. You know, because then you don't have to find yourself looking like a damn fool. Because the worst thing you can have is people just sitting up there and the whole time they're looking at you, the minute you turn your back, they talking shit about you. Gesture. You know, they gesture shit. Nah. I ain't gonna talk shit about you. I'm gonna just say what I gotta say. And if the shoe fit, then please, don't be mad at me. I'm only telling you what I see.
You fits good old bar.
Over. But look, fellas, talk shit Tuesday. It is what it is. Be hot mic Friday. Shit. That's gonna be drop the mic Friday. Be careful how the next 2 days be, because I'm out looking. So I'd like to just see the response, because right now we on the way out. I'm trying to keep it about the dog, because ain't too much that we ain't talked about already. You know, I got a big job ahead of me because I'm actually trying to break all these videos down and just sum up everything. The fun moments, the serious moments, all the good moments that we had and just do just that one last show. And guess what? It really does take time. Man, and this, you don't understand. Hours. You know, hours. My studio is my office. And I hate this thing so bad because I work in here, and my music's in here, and the studio shit is in here. I hate looking at my office anymore. I want to get back to coming back loving my office. You know. So I mean, I got to get in, dig in, put in the work, and then guess what? We're going to be through with this. Until then, I need y'all to keep hitting them like buttons, keep supporting the channel, and ride out with us to the very end. And I say that because one thing ain't going to be fake around here. We're going to always. Yeah.
We're going to always.
I mean, everybody, Shark Tank, everybody. We going
Backstreet,
y'all know what's up. We going to
always
scratch the win.
Always,
man.
The win.
Always. Let them know. Don't talk about it. Be about it. S2 dub. S2 dub. That's that subliminal message shit.
Change the rules. Everybody's scratch the win.
Everybody.
We don't give a damn about you, cry baby.
Put it on the line.
Open up the game.
Open up the game. Put him on the line.
Put him on the line.
Yeah, he's scared. Then put him on the line.
No. You get that bag. You gotta put him on the line.
Put him on the line.
That's the new thing. Backstreet, make the change, make history.
Yeah. Hey, we ain't got no dog tonight. I'm the dog tonight. Let me get in that shit.
Yeah. Oh, you done the dog tonight because you came in tonight. I didn't even have to do the show. You could have left me over there where I was at. Love y'all fellas. Thanks for coming out, man. You always know where y'all at.
Dog of the night. This is dog of the night. This is dog of the night. I'm the dog of the night. Hold on. Let me get this thing from peeking out right quick. Dog of the night. Keep money. Put up, baby. Yeah. I'm gonna just sit up here with my S2W, my going hard shit, and just represent dog of the night. Yeah. You know, I ain't even gonna just do it like I really want to do it. I want to do it like this. What? Shit. Man, you act like you know. All that. Y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's up.
That's that bulldog business. Hey, Mike, what do you mean? Let me get some mic.
Man, look. It's funny, man. But you know it's real. That's what it is all about, baby. Bulldog of the night. G-Money. What up, Mo? Let him know, Mo. Yeah, man. You think I need to stop just walking? I just need to stop. I'm just ready to stop. My attitude won't let me deal with that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? My attitude bad. Really bad.
Because you hear the night callers. Night callers is just so disappointing.
Total disappointment. But you know what? I'ma believe in what we're doing. We can't save everybody. It's like the Corps used to do it. Everybody ain't gonna make it. That's why they either few in the crowd. All you need is the right ones. You see that look? The right one. I know what up. Dog of the night. Yeah. What? Yeah, pussy ass look like shit. What? I ain't trying to hear all man look, man. You know. Dog of the night, baby. I mean, I can't even be serious about the shit. You know, but I'm trying to be a little bit serious because you know what I'm saying. No, I ain't figured out that thing. You know what I mean? Where they say you gotta look hard. Like how you look hard. Like I ain't mad to get up. You know when I get that mad look. You know, when I get that mad look, I be looking at my, you know, like I know he didn't. Yeah, that was always my thing. I be like, I know he didn't. Yeah, what? Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's that crazy shit where you just sit back and be like, You know, that's how it really be though. Just sit back, just don't say, just be looking. You know what I'm saying? That's that dog in the night shit, fellas. I wish I had one with the posters. So hold on. That's it. Stretch the wind. So I ain't got dark and shit now. My gun used to be out there. Used to be way out there. You know. It's that strong. You know, only the strong survive out that mud. You know what I'm saying? That aggression. You know, only the strong survive. True believer in that shit. How about if you really had a person to live by that shit? You know, it ain't just there, just be there. How about if you really had a person who lived like that? Just be like, okay. Only the strong survive. You know where I got that shit from? That's the Marine Corps shit. You know, you just put, you know, add it to the bulldog game. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always a believer in, you know, scratch the win. Start putting all them, every time you see a loss, you see a down. One-time loser, one-time game loser. You know what I mean? On a dog that's still in the corner, man. How do a dog become a game loser standing on all fours, bro? That G ain't supposed to be there. That G only supposed to be there when, you know, when you scratch. You know what I mean? You pick him up, but he you know, he ain't gonna win. But he can't tell him that, right? Ain't that what that means? Run around here all these damn one-time game losers. Man, that dog, I know he stood there. He was on all fours. How's he a game loser? How's that possible? Hell, and I don't know why we can't get our S2W scratch to win in when they got grand champions, one-time losers. You see them? That's the new thing now? That's the new thing right now, ain't it? You would still be a grand champion and a one-time loser. Hey, y'all change the rules. Y'all need to change that one right there. S2W, baby. S2W. Again. Putting it out there. Changes can be made. It's up to you to make them. Till Friday, y'all know what time it is. I'm out. Dog of the night. I'm out. D. Morris. What's up, baby? Skyline News. I see you, fam. That's a big shout out to everybody out there in the Stone. What's up, baby? I see Melee. What up, fam? I need to get my damn phone. You know, my phone ain't even in here. You got one. Ron King, thank you, bro. Lucky. Looking lucky. I see you. Brandon, you missed a good one, boy. What you would have went over there and watched us do that Tommy Boy show?
You'll probably been standing there talking about, man, Twin shouldn't even did that dog, man. I'm telling y'all, I was with him, man. That dog wasn't even thinking about fighting. The Twin. Did that bitch wake up and kill that bitch right quick? No.
Killed her real quick. Like,
That bitch said,
damn.
she clicked on it and destroyed Tommy in 5
5
minutes.
minutes. It was. She was
Tommy
done.
was woke the fuck up, y'all.
I mean, but you know what? I think that's why they was mad. They was really pissed off about that.
Yeah, they was mad. They didn't get no little or nothing
They
on
didn't
it.
get nothing off of her. They wasn't expecting that. I could see why they was mad. And then they were outside with us, so I know she didn't make it home.
Well, no.
I know she didn't make it.
That's what she was, when they were trying to say.
Right. So when they wound up there with us, talking all that bullshit, I knew they was mad. I was like, yeah, she's dead. Because why they out here? Where she at? I know she didn't make it, so. But I'm glad they became cool in the end.
I had more fun than hell.
Yeah.
Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Big Puerto Rico. For all my Puerto Rican friends over there. Best time I had in a long, anywhere actually. It's one of the better times for a young person hanging out in Puerto Rico with the real ones. Yeah, that was a ball.
You know how to speak that shit, but they sure treated me like a dick. I could.
Yeah. Man, when we was riding, we was always in the middle. And up there bumping Snoop Dogg. We know the words, but I'm wondering how the hell we can't talk to them and they up here saying
They doing Snoop Dogg.
man, Pac and shit. Y'all know, I think they was pulling our leg, acting like they ain't understand what we was saying. That's some bullshit. I sure as hell didn't know what
They been singing raps and shit.
Yeah, they doing raps and shit. I guess they do that to people like that, because you know damn well, how y'all gonna be knowing what they saying? They speaking in mouth. They rapping in English. Y'all rapping in English. Come on. That's one thing I always wanted to learn how to speak Spanish, because I'm in Florida and there's a whole lot of mommies out there. We want to hear you. They told me so much out there. Mommy, well, Bobby, I was like, hey, baby. You know,
Spoil me.
spoil me like a mom. Hey, y'all, look, Friday. I'm out of here. Deuces. I'm out.
Unfinished Kennels, what's up, fam? Thank you. In the Woods, 456, what's up, fam? Brandon Newhouse, I see you. What's up, Mike Lee? Mike Lee, I talked to you last night, man. It was a good conversation, baby. I hear you. Double Win, what's up, baby? Viking Family LG, what's up, baby? I see ya. Muscle. Burning Star, I see you. Just a dog man. I got you, baby. Jimmy Foster, what's up, big boy? Jimmy Foster, we got a section over there, man. Your stuff is sitting over there with Mr. Morris and shit. I try to be funny about it, but y'all got a box of shit, man. When we send y'all shit off, y'all gonna be real happy. If we can just get it off. And for certain things to stop us from getting it done.
It's called time. I mean, you know how many boxes of shit we got sitting over there? Every Saturday, time period on the weekend. These supposed to be days we ain't even supposed to be working. You know what I mean? We don't hardly ever even see. You know, I wish I had some kids around here too. I hate cutting grass no more. I don't even like cutting grass. You know what I mean? I don't even like getting up every morning having to take the dogs out for a walk. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to William McGee. What's up, fam? I'm taking dogs out for walks and all kinds of crazy shit. Every fucking morning. Hey, Lockett, I got you, bro. Thank you. I'm over here shouting out like you're doing me. Doran, Close, what's up, baby? Brandon Crawford. Game Dog, I got you, baby. Marcel Shepard, much love, bro. What's good, twins? You, bro. We royalty. Yes, we are, baby. Shout out. What up, man? Right over there and cut the pole off. I know, man. I'm glad. Maybe 6 or something. It might have got better. It was 77. You don't think it got better? The number 52 is probably went up, but that 26 to 22, because last year they probably made it CD. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I mean, I was just thinking, it would be, I'm gonna hook up the screen now thing, right? So we gonna put that, if anybody wanted to do that today, we gonna do it. You know what I mean? I think I can keep the same format, just, I gotta get your computer in here, see if I can wire it in where we can do the Streamlab, and have everybody come in, and then we gonna do that. We'll do a short one. I mean, we can bring up other topics too. I could actually put the whole thing together. I still think mine got to go a long way to try to deal with you. Independent on this damn dogs and the papers, man. Hard doing shit when you ain't got no receipt. Hey, Mad Dog, y'all forgot, I heard somebody talking about Westside Hoorah. Y'all forgot the original bounty hunter. The original bounty hunter. Yeah. Okay, G-Town. That's a big shout out to the whole big Bulldog community, my family. Y'all know who y'all is. One love, fam. Were you listening to the show on the way over? Oh, so you missed a whole bunch of shit, baby. Oh, lost the keys. You lost the keys. The car was locked and it was dark. I couldn't find it nowhere. I thought they was in the car. Locked. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't hear it. Cause after me and you talked, I was like, I know where I'm going with this. Hell, you ain't know you here. I know what I said. He already tell me to go here. You know, you don't tell me to go here. Don't go up. I'm telling you what you telling me to do. Figure out. I'm talking shit anyway. I'll be This what I'm putting up there then. That's what I put up on the real talk.